I'll be honest, a lot of this took top work setting up, and as soon as it's gone, it's like, hey, it's a black screen. Who knows? It's all kind of a little bit strange. So theoretically, oh good, it did work. I managed to make this bit work. That's a good start. There was all this cool stuff lined up, like on the Twitch streams with videos and stuff, and I had it all lined and brilliant. And now it's not. So let's assume everything's good and you can all hear me. We'll go with that. Now the chat I've got showing up is massively delayed, so we'll go with that. So yes, I spent a load of time, as I mentioned, preloading all of this, making it work, making it do stuff, and it's just absolutely... Go away, I don't want you coming up. Yeah, hasn't done exactly what I wanted. But there we go. So, the thing I learnt today is that the Twitch login, for when we streamed on Twitch, is entirely different to this login, and it was a little bit of a moment. So, yes... not the perfect start at all. Anyway, hello everybody, how are we all? I hope we're all doing alright. Forgive me if I don't address the camera all the time, because this is where the photo is over here, and where the microphone is, and all of the controls are over on this screen over here, as is all the chat. So I'm going to have to address you by doing these things and hoping for the best. Believe it or not, for the amount of time it's taken to make this go, I have actually spent time researching and kind of testing this. But none of it has worked the way that I intended it to. So, yes. So, hello everybody, how are we all doing? Hope everybody's well tonight and ready to join us on a adventure of looking through some of my photographs. Some are better than others, some have better stories than others, and some of them are just photos. So, things for you to look forward to tonight. We've got, obviously, Percy. Oh, I hit the microphone, sorry guys. Oh! Thank you very much. Coffee. Thank you very much for the donation. I didn't realise we could do that. Did I set that up? That's exciting. I did not know that was a thing. Hope for the best in time. Thank you very much for the donation. I did not know we could do that. That's awesome. That's exciting. So, with that, we're going to be looking through a couple of things, notably some photos from New Zealand, some photos from Poland, from some of my misadventures, and a selection of photos that I just ran through my back catalogue of some 100,000 photos or so, and just went, let's bring this in and hope for the best. Yeah. I know, nice pop shield. It was almost recommended it to me by an audio expert. So, as we're going through the normal thing, I'm going to ramble about the photos. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to ask random other questions. And I will pay as much attention as we can to that, and we'll go along. So, hello everybody. Good, and hello to everybody watching from afar. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for this being a pain in the backside. So, starting off with, this is Jubilee. And unless when it's a day when it's dressed up like this, and where I have to tell you it's Percy. This is part of the rules of the Thomas the Tank thing, that if you have a day where you're doing a Thomas day, you must tell anybody that it is Percy. So if one of you people came along and asked, what is this engine really? I have to turn around and say, I'm really sorry, this is Percy from the Isle of Sodor. And they go, yeah, but what is it really? This is Percy from the Isle of Sodor. Now, the reason for this photo, particularly, because normally I don't take photos of the engines when they're in their Thomas guise, because personally, I hate it. Today, I think we've got 226 photos to go through, just of stuff. Oh, yeah, the hat. He's a right Burke. Every time I do attempt not to hit the mic, but it is right in my way, and as you know, I gesture a little bit. So, yes, let's go. Oh, thank you very much for Rover 70. That's very kind of you as well. That's very excited. Do you have to ban me from my own Discord? Yeah. Anyway, this isn't on Discord, so this is fine. So, this is Jubilee, and the main reason for showing you this photo is that this is the most miserable turn I have ever had on the footplate. It was so cold because there is no back to the cab that we were freezing on there as the snow came down, and as a result of the loading platform being a slope which was slippery, and however much salt they put on it, it just didn't do anything. They decided that they wouldn't run trains with us, but we would just sit there, and I had the lighting up bucket, a big tin bucket, turned upside down on the footplate, and I sat there huddled round the fire, sitting there going, I'm not actually enjoying this. it was genuinely unhappy. I was unpleasant. It was just unpleasant. I've never really been so unhappy on the footplate of steam engine because we didn't do anything all day. So this is Jubilee. She is a Bagnall. I can't remember her works number off the top of my head, and she should not be this neon green with number 6 on the side. It's a real shame. But yes, if you take the face off, yes, she is Jubilee, and you can see the 2 stubs with my moosey thing. And I can zoom in. Oh yeah, look at this. That's where the nameplate should sit there. And obviously it doesn't have it at the moment. Look at the face. Look at the face. Look at that. Yes. Oh, this is quite good. I can do lots of things there. There's the N7 over there. I'm doubled. Try that. Don't know what happened there. Random audio started. Who knows? Did that fix it? I hope that fixed it, because I literally have no idea where the other source would be coming from. Fixed it? Yes. Anyway. Face to face to tap the mic. Right. Are we fixed? Let me know if we're fixed. Give me a thumbs up or anything if we're fixed. Better. Fixed. Cool. I think I might accidentally set on a second try. Anyway, doesn't matter. So, it was a miserable day, and the most miserable I have ever been on the foot plateau. And I would preferably prefer not to do it again. So, if I do this, we should go on to the second photo, I hope, if I've made this right. Ah, great. So, for some of these photos, I'm just going to do, because I have done this cleverly, I think, that I can just do, ha ha! Genius. So I can turn the face off. Right, so there's nothing that actually you lose in this one. But there we go. So this is the Nene Valley Railway, which is Bristol way. How long is the delay on the chat? So, apples. There we go, that's that bit done for you. Good evening. And, yeah. Let's see. There's a long delay. Oh, I've had a separate message talking about the chat. How exciting. 40 seconds. Wow, that's very low. Are you currently set for top chat? No, I'm on live chat, so I should be seeing stuff. Dave Drives, I just may have missed it because I've been seeing stuff. Yes, I have been to the Romney Hive and Dim Church before. It's quite good fun. Oh, that is late. So, in real time, guys, you are about, the chats are coming up for me about 30 seconds behind when I actually see anything. So, if anything does happen, you may have to wait kind of 30 seconds or so for the response. Anyway, so here we have the Avon Valley. I particularly like this thing, the Sentinel in the corner, that's now operational. But here we have one of my favourite locomotives of all time, which is Bell. Just a completely weird locomotive, a very old locomotive as well, but it's absolutely superb. And behind it is Willie the Well Tank, now named something else because apparently we're not allowed to say Willie the Well Tank anymore. So that's what it is. And I just particularly like it because it was just interesting weather, interesting day. And I like autumn galas when you have all the leaves doing weird things. And it was a really nice gala. It was a rare day out because Willie the Well Tank spends a lot of time not being places. I think it's currently on hire. Let me know in the comments, guys, where it is now. But it's elsewhere. So moving on. If I click on that and we do that. Oh, well, that's not what I want to do. Let's do. There we go. Okay, another picture with a slight story to it. This is possibly the biggest locomotive that I've driven as a volunteer. And this is 78018. It's a standard 2MT. Now, the reason I like this photo is because, firstly, it looks really weird on the Continental coaches. This is at the Nene Valley Railway. And yes, I've been. Oh, we're going to stop for the chat. Double done that. What's the diesel called Grumpy? It's a Barclay. I think it's a Barclay. Thank you very much for the hat. When I head to the Lawrie, I don't know when I'm going to the Lawrie, maybe later in the year. I have done the Spa Valley. If you flip through the videos, you'll see we've done the Spa Valley, because we did a couple of videos there. YouTube just showing you live now when you started 12 minutes ago. Great, well done, YouTube. Are you going to make this background? Are you going to somewhere to make a great background? What, the video? The video can stay up. Santa attempted to stand on the waterproof pipe for a steam they on Tuesday. Yes, it was very hot. That does look weird. Yes. So back to this train. So I'll lose this. You can appreciate. Oh, actually, if I just zoom out, will that? There we go. And you can kind of appreciate it now without my face in it. That's a bit better. So particularly, you'll notice if we zoom in over here, you see how much wider burn gauge, the continental gauge, is to the stuff we use in the UK. The main reason I wanted to photo this was there was nobody else taking photos on the day. It was relatively nice for a December day here in the UK, which is normally miserable. And as I mentioned, this is the largest locomotive that I've actually driven as a volunteer. And 78018 is a famous locomotive. For those of you who have seen I think it's a Pathé, not sure, film, or it's a British transport film, BFI. No, British transport film. BTF, called a Snowdrift at Bleakskill. Don't know if you've seen it. If not, I won't be offended if you go and check it out now or later on. It's on YouTube, and it's showing the north of England when there was a steam locomotive that got stuck in a snowdrift. And the locomotive stuck in this is indeed 78018, and it was really excited. Yes, yeah, okay, you saw it at. Have you ever been to a live steam event? Fun from anyway, so so it's a famous engine, that result, and it was on hire to the Nene Valley for a while when I was a volunteer there, and I'd been firing it, and the driver was like, "You ever driven this?" I said, No, I've not actually driven anything here. And he was like, "All right, do you want to drive?" And I'm like, "Do I want to drive it?" Of course. So I got to drive it, and it's an absolutely cracking locomotive. I absolutely love it. Pathé filmed it. I was right. Thank you. The hat. I think it's just super. So, hello, Colonel. Have I been to the Festiniog in Welsh? Yes, I have. And greetings and salutations to you too, Will. So, anyway, that's that one. It's as locomotives go, the Standard 2 is perhaps the perfect size for heritage railways. It can handle most things, and particularly for a flat railway like the Nene Valley, that is perfect. And it remains one of my favourite locomotives I've ever crewed. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. Apples, Joan the Steam. That's just popped up there. Hey there, Mystic Mind Analysts. Basically, small engines ran on actual steam. Well, it's a medium-sized locomotive. Anyway, next one, Chatham. Now, for those of you who haven't been to Chatham Dockyard, sadly, this particular engine here is no longer there. It's been sold and hasn't been in steam since around the time that this photo was taken, many, many years ago at this point. But Chatham has such a wonderful atmosphere to it because you have trains running through the dockyard itself. Behind us there is the old fire station, which is pretty good, and a nice churchy craney thing there, which is just superb. The way it looks and the atmosphere is just super. And what did you want to say to me? Got a message pop through of people saying do stuff. Cool, that's fine. Anyway, yes, so the cranes are awesome. You can just see there the bulge of the submarine. We zoom in, zoom in. There we go. That's the front end. Oh, hold on. I press that one. That bulge there is the front of the submarine. That's HMS Gannet behind it, which is a boat that has saily things, important things. And there is a warship hidden around the corner as well. So it's a really cool environment. Sorry, hit the mic. It's a really cool environment, and I really enjoy it because you get to see trains just trundling through the dockyards, which is unlike most other places I think you've ever been. There you go. And this is exactly the photo I was looking for that comes straight after. I'm going to put my face back in because, you know, hello, it's me again. Yeah. What did I miss? Have you been to Snowdon? Yes, I've been up Snowdon several times. I like that. In fact, a lot of the questions are places that you're asking for are photos that are coming up later in this stream. So there's a lot of the places that have been mentioned. So it may be better to ask places I haven't been after we've been through the photos. Yes, I have done a lot of live stream stuff. It is a Peckett. Yep. Training the farm at Helston Railway. Yes, that's very good. I have seen the Helston Railway doing stuff. It's very good. The engine looks like Trojan. It's much bigger than Trojan. The railway dockyard is super. I love the frame of the shot. Oh, thank you very much. The crane says, thank you very much. It's a nice crane. He had a live stream selection in one of his videos. I did love a saddle tank. Yes, so do I. It is a saddle tank. Hello, Muffin Gamer. Here's steam locomotive to be banned from Mid-Suffolk Valley. Yes, a lot of places are choosing not to run steam because it is rather hot at the moment and generally bad. Industrial locomotive are always good. Yes. Chatham Dockyard is very good. Good morning. Severn Valley stop steam. Yep. Danger of fire. BVR 16mm version 2. Hello there. Is a boathouse a listed building? Yes, I think it is. That's the big space, or the big shed they call it, that big thing there. And in there, they have the, I think maybe the National, but certainly a lifeboat collection. Many different lifeboats in there. It's well worth a look around. I mean, you can easily lose a day there just walking on and going up the gangplank and have a look around the boaty thing. You can go on the submarine, and when they have the trains running through the dockyard with unfitted wagons just going bang, 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 it's just marvellous. I was a volunteer there for a while. Unfortunately, they've changed their requirements of how often you've got to go get down there. And being a YouTuber who has very little free time, I can't commit to how often they want me down there, which is a shame because I really, really liked being down there. And it was just wonderful watching trains bounce around there. Yeah. The Isle of Man is a nice little railway. I haven't done Isle of Man yet. I've done Isle of Wight. So yes, I think they filmed part. There's a lot of filming that goes down on Chatham docks. It's a lot of things. Okay, how many miniature railways have I been to? Oh, I don't know. If memory says most of the buildings are, yes, they are. Hello, oh, hello, Ryan. How are you doing? Right, and if I press, I can press that button next. There we go. I'll lose my face. My face ruins this. Bye bye, face. Anyway, this is a shot I did years and years and years ago, which is possibly a little bit too stylized, but the lighting was kind of cool, and it was a mode on my camera at the time. I think it was the toy camera mode. Hello there, B Barnes Aviation. I have done Swannage Railway. Yes, in fact, there are photos of Swannage Railway coming up on this at the moment. A lot of... There's some... It depends on the railway. Some railways have well, every railway I think's got a minimum turn requirement that you have to do. Most of the railways I'm part of currently require you to do a minimum of a turn a year. Other railways like Chatham, I think the Nene Valley as well, require you to do one turn every 3 months. And as you can imagine, with our filming schedule and our YouTube schedule, I just can't commit to doing one turn every 3 months. I just can't fit it in. So at the moment, it just doesn't work. So I'm just staying at places and railways where they're like, yeah, as long as you do a turn a year to keep yourself up, that's fine. And it's a big turn off for some places. Yes, oh, good waffle. Yes, it is. The current fuel is crippling me at the moment. I just cannot deal with it. It's hurt the channel a lot. Are you going to the Bluebell Terrier Gala? Maybe. Parts of Call the Midwife are filmed at Chatham Docks. Yes, they are, Ben. That's right. They have a lot of... there's, I think, a little bit of a show about it there, like a display. I would love to drive... The tube chains on the Isle of Wight have gone now, haven't they? They're not there anymore. You should put your face in the top left. I should do, but I can move it around. And I'll bring it back every now. Oh, I could just do... Let's do that. You're right. Let's put the face back so it's not just a... Do-do-do-do-do-do. Whoa, I like this. I'm up here. Anyway, Going Valley is very good water road. It's in fact, it's got a lot better in recent years since the clear out. Excellent shot for the magazine. Stars Smokes eat this up. Oh yeah, it's an old photo now. So this was shortly after Pitchford Hall came back into... No. Shortly before Pitchford Hall ended service. It was in its last week or so of being used. And turn on. Again, I loved Pitchford Hall. Great Western engines, generally speaking, are a pain to oil up because, as you see, you have your connecting rod and your coupling rods there, and then all of your motion is inside there, inside the gubbiny stuff, and it's a pain in the backside. But they steam lovely, and I've really enjoyed my turns on it, apart from when it rains, because the cab is open at the back and it works as a rain scoop on the way back and just sucks it in, and it's awful. I'd love to get down to Swannage. I'd love to, if you want to start stuff working B Barnes Aviation so I can get down there and do some stuff with them, would absolutely love to, because I love the Swannage Railway. It's gorgeous. Plym Valley. Oh, I'd like to go down to Plym Valley. That's quite good. 38 stock has been replaced in modern... Yeah. The 38 stock isn't tube stock, though, is it? Is it? I don't think it is. They've had to change all the platforms. I went there and had a look around. They've changed all the platforms and everything. I had to go to cycling office at my... Yes, I know. I have to start cycling between here, my office, and where I work and where I live. Because... And also, I'm getting fat and I need to lose some weight. So, yes. Have I been to Cornish Railways? What's the one in Cornwall? Hold on. That's a stupid question. What's the one that goes into the station and then comes back out of it? Where Alfred and Judy are based. I can't think where that is. Isle of Wight is still is still Tube D stock. Ah, the big stuff. Branger and Worms Hill Railway. Yes, love it. More photos are coming up of that. Most of the places you guys have mentioned so far of railways have I been to, there literally are photos coming up of it in the not too distant future. Briefly, precisely Badlander Outsider. They're lovely pieces of art, but they're not the most friendly things to it. They fire really nicely, though. They're lovely. So, great stuff on there you love. Anything and anything. Whatever that's down there. Yeah, whatever could be arranged. Anyway, so this was one of its last. The reason for this photo was I was a volunteer there at the time, and let's just crop in slightly, and so we don't see the face in the corner there, because the face kind of ruins it slightly. Can we? Yeah, there we go. Better. It was one of its last turns, and I just kind of the light was lovely at the end of the day, and I was just like, this is a really nice sunset of it. You know, it's soon not to be running anymore. So yeah, Bodmin and Wenford, that's the one. Yes, done Bodmin and Wenford. Nice line. Right, let's go sideways. Right, another railway I quite like. Do any of you guys recognise this one? I'll just sit here and wait for you to catch up. Let me know when the photo's changed, because it's going to take some while. Because it's just tuned in. How's it going? It's all right. Manning Wall. There we go. You joined it. So, do you recognise this, guys? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know if you recognise it, because this one has actually featured on the channel, which is the main thing. No, it's not Hastings. This is no, it's not Hastings at all. This has been on the channel. I've driven this. This is great fun. This is a fun game. This is at the Middleton Railway, if it makes it any better for you guys. And when I featured it not long ago on the channel, it was painted green. So it is a Wardle. Yeah, it is a Wardle. This is great. This is a fun game. I didn't think we'd go through this. That's obviously Thomas doing it. Anyway, let's catch up. Have I been to Ravencastle and Eskdale? Actually, I haven't done that. I've not done that. It was James Hardy. It was Pitchford Hall. That's what it was. This is the L class. I have done Ripple and Reapham, but that's not this. Southern Video for one thing for volunteer railway needs to remember it's not a job. No. But you've got to take it seriously as it were a job. Have I been to Branger and Worms Hill? Yes, there are photos coming up of this. We've got 3 bullets down here, 1 in overhaul. I'd love to do a bullet. That's quite good fun. I would love to go to the Netherlands and do. That sounds brilliant. Orange Trump face. Can you help make that happen? Because I would love to make that happen. Ah, there we go. Bored in real life. Matthew Murray it is indeed, and Ben Powell 009 Matthew Murray. Isaac. Oh yeah, okay. Lots of you got Matthew. You've got it. Yes, this is Matthew Murray. How I remember it when I first visited the Middleton Railway. So the reason I do particularly like this photo is because I ended up driving this locomotive. Admittedly, I much prefer it in this blue livery rather than the green it currently carries, and I just like it at the end of the line. It feels quite industrial, light railway-ish with the trees in autumn around it. I just think it works really nice. It's a pretty little engine, and it looked more pretty back in like that blue. It wears the blue really, really well. So yes, when are the Branger photos coming? I don't know. Later on. The Threckfield Light Rail. I'm not in the Lake District. No, I've not done it. It's on the to-do list. Oh, you've got the U class as well. It's lovely. Oh, here we go. Another one. Another photo. Move you a bit. Right. Any guesses, guys, on this one here? Because this is good fun. I have done Romney. Yes, I have done Romney Huffington several times. Have you been to Switzerland on the railways? No, I've not done Switzerland. I have driven through Switzerland once. I've never done any of the heritage there. I'd love to do something. The Garve W Light Valley Railway. Is that a narrow gauge train freak? I think I talked to somebody about it the other day, actually. I like both the loco and the railway, yes. So, anyone know where this is? This is Amberley. There we go. Good morning from New Zealand. Just wanted to say, love your work. Matthew Richardson, I have some photos of New Zealand coming up later, so if you've got time to continue watching the stream, there are pictures from your home country from when I visited it, so that's, something to enjoy. Dominant between Matt is really funny. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed this. Are they running their pound or getting tugged along? Oh, what the tube stock are currently going to be shunted. That's the plan. Peter, yes, Peter's come back and said this. Oh, super! I like this. Would you rather drive a steam or a diesel at Swannage? Preferably steam, but I'd be well up for a big diesel. Basically, something like Swannage or literally whatever they would be happy for me to take out. So Bagnall, it is. Amberley. Evening from Wales. Hello, Shane. Sean, sorry, Sean, Shane, either or. Yes, the reason I like this is, again, it just looks such a nice, cute little railway running through the middle of nowhere. It was a really good day as well, that, running around looking at stuff. There's not much more to talk about that, though. I do like this one, though. This is the Norfolk Railway, and again, the reason I've gone for this, I love the Norfolk Railway, and out of the railways I'd recommend visiting, particularly for one of their galas. Guys, if you're in the UK or you're travelling to the UK for a gala, check out one of the Norfolk Railway's galas. During like their autumn steam gala, they have something stupid like 40 departures from each end. Or just 40 from each end. Yeah, it's really that good. It's only a short rail. It's 5 and a bit miles. They've got a good bank. It's by the seaside. There's plenty of trains running. It's a highlight of my personal railway calendar. And we will come back to more photos from the Norfolk. Oh, God, I've missed stuff. Out of the locos you saw at the diesel gala, what was your favourite? The warship. The warship was amazing, basically, because I got on it. Quainton. No, I don't think I've got any pictures of Quainton, because I didn't take anything. I just took video there 30 minutes ago, so hopefully hang around. I will do New Zealand after this, Matthew, just for you. So, a standard gauge group. No, I don't know much about it then, Train Freak. Home of Bello is a must-see. Okay, you'll have to tell me more about this. We have it at the West Lancashire Light Railway. Simple. Come to Switzerland next year, but last season we'll return to them. Oh, okay, that's that. Drop us an email or a message, Hunter Daft, so I can have a look into that, because that sounds good. I would love to go to Japan. One of the best railways is Spa Valley. I've been down to Spa Valley several times and videoed it. It was great fun. Swanee, Green Turbo, Bullet, and the DMU. Yeah, we'd have to set up something like to do a review outside the timetable to realistically. Spa Valley, it's awesome, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the railways listed. Been to for new. I've done the one at Bridge North, and I've done the one at Lympton, I think. Anyway, so back to this photo, because we've been off topic for a bit. This is 5619. Reasons for this photo: A, Norfolk Railway. B, the light was just marvellous, and it looked so. It's one of quite often when you take pictures on a digital camera today, they look too clean, too modern, too nice. Whereas this feels a dated photo. The light was just perfect to wash everything and bleach it all out a little bit and make it just look real back in the day. If you exclude the people there, in fact, if we just do this and go, yeah, there we go. Lose the people. You can now kind of go, yes, it's back in the day, and see the fireman shoveling coal forward there. And the other reason is I have fired this locomotive. I have oiled this locomotive up and realised that the 5600s are the single worst thing I have ever oiled up. They are awful, because you'll notice they are inside cylinders and inside motion. They're awful, absolutely awful. You can see where you want to oil something up. You can see it fine. And then you're like, but how do I can't get there with my hand. Your arm has to do this kind of like convoluted shape to try and oil them up. But anyway, that's the reason for this photo, is because I fired it. I've been on it a couple of times, and I really quite like it. Yes. Comments. Should see the steam locus in north-south Welsh. Maybe. I've never driven. No, I've not done a Bobo or a Coco. I've never driven anything like this. Start light. Tough tanks are my favourite. I do love a tank. So have you got like an expensive camera? I've got several. We've got several cameras at this point. I've done 92 Squadron several times, which is a unrebuilt, and I quite like it. So I'll be interested to see what a rebuilt is like. The Kentonese. I do like the Keza. Break your arm in 7 places, and then you won't have a problem. Well, that's pretty much. Do a review of 5600. If it was opportunity, given the opportunity. Anyway, one of my favourite photos. This was the first photo I ever got published, and this was a full double-page spread, of which the black area here they darkened it down a bit from the post and used it for the story, talking about the future of steam. And so it's got a huge significance for me. I have it up on my wall over there, framed picture, and I just. Sometimes you take a picture and you look at it and go, yeah, it's getting published. And this is one of those. I was just over the moon to get this shot and to be the only one to get it, and it's just such a cracking picture, and it summed up the story of what was the future of steam going to be like. Of course, this was before the UK decided to stop mining coal, and the future of steam became a lot more dubious. So yeah, it's a little bit interesting. People in the day had multiple elbows, or they had children to get in and do it for them. Have you seen any Irish engines? Yes, I did the Downpatrick Railway. I've done the Giant's Causeway Railway when it was still steam hauled, and in fact there is a single Irish photo coming up just for that, you know. Rebuilt is better, it's more like a Brit. Yeah, fair enough, Alfie. Yes, I have done Fairborn. It's lovely. Thank you, guys. It's lovely. Eddystone's nice. Any photos of Stepford Barn? You know what? I don't think I have put any in from Stepford Barn. How is Emmonslough doing with their steam locos? We've got Whittington now coming back. So yes. Anyway, I think it's a cracking photo. I do blow up my own trumpet, and I love it's the B12. It's the quad arts. There's a spot in the photo there. We'll ignore that, and it's just brilliant. Really, really like that. Anyway, that's that. As photos go, it's one of my favourite. Again, it has huge importance to me because it was the first I got published in the Railway Press, and started quite a long thing of getting published in the Railway Press. Right, Ireland. Here we go. So there is a story behind this one. This is number 461. I knew that off by heart. That's fine. I remember. And I decided that I wanted to go here because I wanted this shot here of the slightly blurry castle and ruins and things in the background. And unfortunately, the whole shot is a tad on the blurry side. It's not perfectly sharp. Reasons I wanted to do this. Firstly, it's a fascinating locomotive because it's a 260 with inside motion and valves, which is just weird. It's one of Ireland's few standard gauge locomotives. I imagine it's now out of ticket because this photo is like, I don't know, many years old, over a decade old. I went out to Ireland and timed it to go and see this. Have I driven a 460? Don't think so. Not sure. Yes, no, 260. Don't think I've done 460. No. What's happening with steam coal is an issue in coal from. We have at least 2 years worth of coal in the UK, so we'll see what happens after that. Yes, I know the Bluebird's got the Hall visiting till October. I'm quite excited for that. There's a prototype pacer boat, wasn't there? Yes. My father was born in Ireland. Wow, is it James? Is standard gauge bigger? Is Island gauge bigger? Yes, this is 5 foot. Let me know in the comments, guys, what it is. It should be coming back this year. Yes, I think you're right. It's coming. Anyway, so I'd gone over to visit one of my friends in Ireland to help him build a model railway. And this is back in the day when Ryanair, you could go, your ticket included like your handheld luggage, like a small suitcase. And so I'd gone there and just completely blanked the idea that I wouldn't be allowed to take wire cutters or a saw and stuff on the flight. So I got pulled at security and they're like, why do you need these? I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot, aren't I? And they're like, what are you trying to do? I'm like, I'm trying to go and help my mate build a model railway. That's why there's some track and stuff in it. It's like, right, I get you, but you can't fly with them. So I had like half the tools I put in my bag confiscated and destroyed. It was really upsetting. Anyway, I went out and coincided with this thing coming through his local town. So we saw it going the other way as it went through the tramway through his town, and then waited for it to come back, which is this photo. Oh my God, it was so late. It was, we stood by the side on the bridge. We're on a wall here, the Red Comet, and we were sat there for 4.5 hours without any information apart from the fact it should come here. It's not come down. It must be here. And every time we saw the service train go, we're like, well, that's another hour. It's not going to come because it's got to at least get to a passing point. And we were sat there waiting, getting more and more, until the Garda, the Irish police came up and like, what are you lads doing? And we're like, waiting for a train, officer. He's like, and why are you sat on the wall? It's like, because it's a good place to take a photo from the train, officer. You're not going to cause trouble, are you? He's like, no, it's a steam train. Steam trains don't run. No, it's a special steam train. Oh, is it? When's it coming through? Well, it's meant to be here 2.5 hours ago, officer. Oh. I'll see if I can keep an eye out for it then. thanks for that, and drove off. I was like, that's brilliant. Didn't get in trouble, just made him happy. So, yeah, it was a long old wait, and when we started, it was glorious sunshine. The light was perfect. We were right side of the light, and then by the time it actually arrived, yeah, it was not, and it was like this, which was very disappointing. So yes, it was less than enjoyable. If you're going to drive a diesel at Swannage, would you rather drive the 33? The 33, 100%. I'd love to do the 33, which is a photo that'll be coming up in a bit. The K2 is out of ticket, I think. It will be coming back. I'm sure it was under work. Planning more trips back to Poland? Yes, I am. LHS Boy Productions. In fact, there are three more videos from Poland to come out in the not too distant future from my recent trip there. There we go. Irish gauge is 5'3". The Bluebells Hall is visiting from Quainton. Ah, right. Eternal cylinders with bogies are so good looking. It's a lovely looking thing, isn't it? It's pain in the backside. I should go to Lisbon to see their trams. I should. 171 is meant to be coming out back soon. Once Merlin is out of ticket. I love Merlin. It's a cracking thing. Other railways to Devon. Don't think so off the top of my head. I like your video of the Woolly Railway. Thank you, Joe. It was good. Went to the Vale of Rydal. Oh, Vale of Rydal is lovely. I had a nice trip on the footplate there. You know, I've seen Copper Knob, but I've never seen it do anything. Because it doesn't do anything. I've seen it in the NRM. 2.5 hours does seem a bit stretched out. It was 4 hours late, guys. Yeah. I like the guy waving to us on the footplate as well. And I like the kind of the blurringness of... if I do... There we go. I like the blurriness of the train as it disappears out of the shot. And it was just... Yeah, it was very disappointing. Anyway. Another one I quite like. Oh, move that. And again, my face isn't in the way. Yes, go my face. What are we doing? The Northern Line Pale Bus is... Oh, it's down Patrick and County Down. Yeah, I've been there. Should go to the Isle of Man. Cool. 33's come out of April. So, this is the Nene Valley Railway, and it runs alongside the canal. And the reason I like this photo is it's two Great Western engines, so it looks about right in the right livery, because they're both in early crest in BR black, which looks lovely. And canal boat. Yes, look at the canal boat. Unfortunately, the canal was a bit blurry, but I was just over the moon to make this happen. It was just lovely timing. It looks perfect. It looks like a Great Western excursion. Again, you could just about believe it's back in the day, and I love that for that reason. That you're like, yes, it's there. It's real, and I think that's brilliant. Have you been to the Great Cockcrow Railway? Where's that? Rings a bell. I haven't been. I'm sure it's on my list, but where is it? I've heard of it. Real time, yeah, exactly. Seeking having real time trains is such a wonderful thing. Hello, going to Didcot next Wednesday. Awesome, love Didcot. It's a good place. Let me place where Bluebell Stow is. And the Stow in the back of the shed. What line is this? I've said that. What town on Soda would you like to come to life? I literally only know of Farquhar because it's the Farquhar branch. Just came off an Arabelle holiday. Oh, nice. They really need the double head to race the boat. Yes, they did. Geographical transitions, manner of prey. Is it a manner? It's did was it? No, it's Foxcoat, I think. Is it? No, it's not. Oh, I can't remember what it is. What's 7820, guys? I can't remember which one it is off the hand. I'll take the S160. I love the S160. Pretty good, Jamie. Pretty good. Hope you're doing well as well. If you ever go to the Linton Barts... Oh, I've done Linton Barnstable. I forgot about that. I've done Linton Barnstable. That's very good. And I've done the funicular there as well. Did more. Thank you. Could not think what it was. Yes. Okay, fair enough. I don't know what it means. Anyway, apparently it unsyncs itself, so there we go. If you drive a steam at Swannage, what you'd like... I'd love the T... I would like the M7. I'd like the T3. I would love to do the T9. I love the T9. I did a bit of work on the T3, so I'd love to do the T3. In answer to your question, all. Whichever was available. Favourite train station in the UK? Brockford and the Mid-Suffolk. I love that. Another one at the Nene Valley Railway. So this is at the other end of Wansford, coming out the tunnel. And this is when Ringhall visited. That's Ringhaw from the Norfolk Railway, and I like Ringhaw. One thing I've learnt is if you go to the Norfolk Railway, you can say that about any of the locomotives there. I don't really like the B12, or I don't really like the 9F, or any of them, apart from Ringhaw. If you say I don't like Ringhaw, they're like, well, why don't you like Ringhaw? Ringhaw's the best thing we've got. They love Ringhaw. Ringhaw is a cracking locomotive, and again, about the perfect size for a railway like that. Maybe a bit small for now as they're running bigger trains, but it's absolutely magnificent. It's a lovely little engine, and it just looked so good on a little goods train erupting from the tunnel. I really, really like it. Just enjoy it, really. Have you been to the Hastings Minster Railway? No, I have not. Have you been to Seaton? Oh, the tramway there? No, I don't think so. It's Seaton tramway, isn't it? A volunteer Minster Railway on the Heritage Railway. Great. The Stockwork trucks and trains and more. Have you been to the Royal Minster Railway? No, I don't think so. Generally looking forward to seeing 5322 at Didcot, model on my road. Oh, it'd be nice to take the model to the real thing. It is a 16-inch Hunslet. There's a loco like Ringhaw at Spa Valley, going to be painted red. Is there? When I was a volunteer at Spa Valley, I was on Ugly. I think was my last turn. Shows how long ago that was. Good evening, True Mechanics. Moving again. I put this one in the wrong order. This is Chatham again. This is on a part of the section that, as the public, you can't get to see. And it just is full of atmosphere. It's just amazing. I love the whole experience of this place. It feels like a proper industrial railway still. The light was lovely. We were shunting wagons at the end of the day, and I just snapped a quick picture on my phone. I was just like, this is wonderful. It feels just right. And Overlord's a cracking thing. Again, it's another engine that I filmed for the channel, which you've probably seen the video for, and I have really enjoyed it. For the steam gardeners and steam days, put anything inside the wagons or preview looks. They're just demonstrations, I think. This one was last similar design used by Cadbury. Yeah, maybe. I think it's bigger, isn't it? The Cadbury locomotive. I can see it in my head. Overlord, it's quite small, really. But yeah, anyway, do quite like Overlord. I think it's cool. It's, I think, still currently working at the railway. I think it's still in service, he says. But I love this photo. It just feels so much like a just a proper industrial railway. It doesn't feel heritage. It just feels right. And for that, I absolutely love it. It's a weird little thing to drive. They've done, to be fair, when I did the video with Overlord, it was prone to stalling. They've done a lot of work on it in the time I was part of the railway, and it's now just a different beast and a cracking thing to drive. I've done Bristol Harbour Railway. That's very good. Should be heading to the Severn Valley next month. So Severn Valley is very good. I'm hopefully off there in 2 weeks, I think. Plandaff, which drives mostly wood and gravel. Overlord worked. It's a black and white photo. It wouldn't look far off from when it went overseas. Yes, the lights hit wonderful as well. Have I driven tender engines? Yes, I have. I've done things like well, have I driven this tender engine? I've done, yes. In fact, I've done lots of them. Some I can't talk about. The 2MT I've done over here, and then a couple of narrow gauge things, and then some other stuff. For some reason, small industrial Fowler diesel at Swannage. Yeah, it's not that far off against it, but it's very attractive, isn't it? And moving on to the next one. What's the next one? I don't know. Come on, let's go next. Is that the end of this list? Have I gone to the end of this list? Or am I gone to the end of it is the end of this list. Right, fine. So I think we wanted to go to New Zealand next, didn't we? I promised, whether or not it's going to be in time or not. But we'll start off with New Zealand. Right. This is a terrible photograph, and the main reason we've done this terrible photograph is because it was a Ruston 48, and this photo was taken shortly after I'd purchased my Ruston 48 and found it hilarious to find another one on the literal other side of the world. The thing I particularly like is because they're on Cape Gauge. I think New Zealand at 3'6", he says, at risk. Matthew, great. So this is just outside of Christchurch in a child's play place. And the thing I really like about this is the fact that it has the standard Ruston 48 cab, and you can just see that they just narrowed the frame slightly. They haven't done anything. The cab's the same size. It's just been a little bit smaller. My favourite is the LMS. Not the LMS, the LNER. I love the LMS, Mr. Teebs. So there we go. I think that's very good. Fuel engines run on LPG and the emissions lower than diesel here. What? Oh, that's very interesting. No, because we don't know much about Switzerland's railways, I guess. So yes, I really like the Little Ruston. I think it's great, and I just thought it was hilarious because it just looks so strange. But basically, it's the same as my one, just a bit more narrow. Anyway, this is Ferry Meadows. Is that right? Tell me if I'm right. This is the museum. I'm sure it's Ferry something. Tell me that I'm right. I can't remember what the hell it's called now. I've forgotten. Anyway, a lovely engine. British. Oh God, I can't remember what the loco is. Anyway, it's very pretty. It's been New Zealandised, but I love the coaches. I love the fact it's also a railway that has an overhead. We don't have this in the UK at all, a heritage railway operating with an overhead, but I think it's awesome. It's just such a pretty engine. Ferry Mead, thank you, Matthew. Thank you, you're there. I had a lovely day there. The weather was super, but just throwing it out there, I love New Zealand. If I hadn't got the shed and the collection of vehicles that I knew I'd never get the opportunity to do again, I would 100% have moved to New Zealand. It is marvellous. And if you haven't been, guys, you really should. Lovely people, lovely railways. So, yeah. It's great. And just, it was super pretty. And it's just such a nice little engine with a cow catcher. I love the cow catcher and the big lamp. And, it's so very good. And the big air tank slapped on the top there. But love the coaches, love the stock, love the look of it. Similar picture. I don't know why I put two of the pictures side by side. Probably I forgot to choose one of them. I do love the fact that how the cow catch here is just an afterthought that's been put on. It's like, oh yeah, we'll just bolt it there. You can see how the locomotive should have looked if it didn't have that on it. The pantographs, we were having this discussion the other day. In fact, it's part of the podcast. The pantographs were just good for shunting if they were going anywhere. And they kept a fire in the locos as well. Everyone goes, oh, they run on electricity. The electricity helped it. There was still a fire in there. The electricity was like a booster for keeping them in steam and allowing them to shunt. If they had to go anywhere on a train, I'm pretty sure they were then had to put a normal fire in it. Yes, it's a lovely photo anyway. This is just very nice. I love the coaches and the scenery was gorgeous. Same engine further down the line, stunning. Love the little bridge, love all of it. Just mountains in the background, little steam engine. It was a wonderful day. There's quite a few pictures from this railway. I will just be honest with you. It was super, and I enjoyed it. Lovely engine, lovely shot, love the coaches, love it. I've talked about it. Same again. It's so different running up there, and I love the open coaches at the end where people can go. It was such a lovely little thing. And again. I'll just skip through that because of reasons. Sat in the platform, I think, or just leaving, and with some of the stuff there. I love these mountains in the background. It just made the whole place be quite special. Going over that bridge again. And then the weather on the same day just decided that it could just change. It'd been so nice all on the same day as the afternoon. And just came down disgusting, which I really like this photo when they turned the lights on, they got the generator running. And it just changed the whole atmosphere of the place and made it look a lot more gritty and industrial. So we've gone from this beautiful, light little railway in the countryside to, oh, this is almost real. I really, really did enjoy all of that. This cracking engine. Anyway, this is a bridge. Yes, it is. The locomotive, I can't remember. This was a special train they run, a special mainline regular excursion that ran, and I can't remember what the locomotive is or the train because I haven't been to New Zealand for like 6 or 7 years. But I just happened to be there and realised that the thing was running, so I could go after it. Does it say what it is on the side? Can we zoom in enough? No, just that. Maybe a number there. I can't read it. Number. 608, maybe. Anyway. Also, love the round tender. Very, very cool. Love the bridge. I kind of researched this shot and worked out that I want to get it. I think this is coming out of... No idea. Can't remember. Railway. Something, and I cannot remember where on earth it was. It'll come to me. I sent you pictures about the hydraulic lights. I will have a gander at that again. I think yes, I remember, Ryan. Thank you very much for sending that through. This is the same chasing trip. There we go. The Marlborough Flyer. There we go. That helped some of that. And it was 608. again, this was so if for those of you who've looked right back through all of the stuff we did on the channel, one of the videos is the worst car review. Or is this the worst car? The video is terrible, there's no microphone and the sound is awful, so if you do watch it, just bear in mind it's before I started the channel. That's how old it is. But that car, that absolute hunk of words I'm not going to repeat on YouTube, was the thing that I was chasing this in, and I almost killed it. In fact, the car didn't survive much after I survived. I just love this. I don't think it is an oil burner. I think there you can see where the coal storage is. It just has a water tank on the back. A very attractive locomotive. I liked that a lot. Fed-up turns are a hit and miss for me. I really like them, but it's mostly because they're so unusual and like we don't have anything. Again, I love how the rail. You can see how steep the railway is, because it was stonking up here. It's one of the things I really regret, because I wasn't filming stuff then. I was just taking pictures. I regret not filming it. I mean, all you'd have heard would have been the road noise of this stuff. But same thing again. Slightly softer on the front, unfortunately. But again, just over there, I'd stopped the train because that branch had come down and was across the track, and so I'd kind of walked into the line with my hands up and been like, "Hey guys, probably need to stop because I can't move this." And so we stopped and moved the branch. So that was fun. And then it restarted. I ran up here and got a photo of it stonking along again. Super stuff. Really did enjoy. It's just a cracking thing. Again, the road's low, the railway's above it. This is where they kind of come together. It was just wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Love the scenery. Love how high the mountains were. I might do Branca next. We'll find out what happens. It was super. It's such a cracking engine. Like the size of those cylinders, you look at them. Huge. It's like obviously got a fairly large boiler, but then the biggest defining feature is the size of these cylinders. And again, love the livery of the red coaches. I think that's superb. Absolutely. Again, coming around here, love it because you can't see the train. Love the headlamp, love the scenery, love the fact that you cannot see the top of the mountains because it had kind of come from around the back of that curve there, came there. It's just the railway of dreams, the way it curves through the mountains. It was doing whatever line speed was. It was quite a challenge. It was doing maybe 50 kph. I know that I was having to drive quite hard to get ahead of it. It was just quite good. Going to be late since you asked the... 7:15. That's why I know it. Yes, I've not been there, Lorenzo, but I have heard of it. Yeah, just super locomotive. Hello, ELR train spotter. No worries. This, I think, is the railway runs next door to an airfield. Strange, super strange. It's not the example of the one that crosses the airfield, although it does cross the airfield because this is the airfield this side as well, but it doesn't cross the runway. There is on the North Island, definitely. Yeah, is it North Island? It is on the North Island. There is a railway that crosses an active runway. Terrible bit of design. Yeah. So there we go. This one just ran alongside it. In fact, when I left to go home, I left from this airfield on a tiny plane. Hilarious, good fun. This is it again, running somewhere else. Trains. Blah, 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 blah. Trains. We'll go on to next. There was lots of fineries, wine growing places, and this was it, partying. I just thought it was kind of fun and nice. And again, for me, got the rods down. Very happy with that. Just a cracking little engine, the train. So, the story behind this little railway, this is the only narrow gauge railway on the South... No, it's not. It's the only 2-foot gauge railway on the South Island. I think it's the only place. Matthew, if you're still watching, you might be able to tell me. But I'm pretty sure this one is the... Brain's gone. Might come back to me. I can't remember what the loco was either, to be honest. But the main reason for this photo is I'd messaged them and said, look, I see you're running on this. Can I come along and take some photos? And they came back to me and said, no, you can't take photos because we have a train running, which is... No, it was a special train running. That was what it... They'd got a special train running midweek and I happened to be in the area. And because this is... somewhere up north, and I can't remember where it is. On the north of the South Island, one of the towns. Can't remember. Someone will tell me what it is in the comments, I'm sure. Anyway, they said it's a train of adults with learning difficulties and their carers, so we don't want you taking photos because it's too complicated of taking pictures of these people. So I went, oh, that's really disappointing. I'm from England, I'd quite like to see it running. They went, oh, I'll tell you what, come along for the day, we'll give you a complimentary ticket, and when we finished at the end of the day, when we go back to the shed, you could stop and take some pictures on the run. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went along and took some pictures of this fascinating little thing, and they was great. I had my own little private photo charter. Well, we'll come back to that. So yeah, love that. Great fun. Loved the track running alongside it. It just felt like a proper narrow gauge little railway. What is Marlborough? Yeah, it was Marlborough. It's Marlborough. I think it is Marlborough. I think that's the town it runs to. Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up on the interwebs, I guess. Where's the internet? Let's click on that. Maps. I'm going on a tangent here, guys, because I can't remember where on earth it is. Maps, New Zealand. I've made all my star marks, you see, so I've put pins down so I can remember where the pictures are. New Zealand is over there. It is Blenheim. The Blenheim Railway. That's where it is. Blenheim. I think. I'm pretty sure it's Blenheim. 90% sure it's Blenheim. Yeah, it's Blenheim. Definitely Blenheim. Probably, maybe, definitely Blenheim. Pretty sure it's Blenheim. Anyway. Off on that tangent. Yeah, so I enjoyed that. Where were we? Just joined. Lovely photos. Thank you. North Checker Transport. Thank you. North. We're going with that. Went to a railway museum. They had an impressive Atlantic with wheels. Oh, very nice. 7¼ inch mostly. Love it. Any of the narrow gauge railways that supplies to the France still up and running? I imagine so. Is there a museum? There was, not sure. Marlborough. Nice low-cost building. SM32. Yes, very nice. The Petit Train Hordes on some still runs in France. Yes, that's very cool. They're all field railways, and then the war they were dismantled. Yeah, but a lot of this stuff got sold on. Just like think about a lot of the motor rail simplexes and things went out to France and were used on the railways out there, and then got repurposed. Blenheim. There we go. I had to go. I couldn't remember it. This is a little diesel at the Blenheim Railway. So they've got a little steam engine at the Blenheim Railway, and it's very, very strange. It's oil fired, but they have a diesel generator in the back to power the pump. So it's very strange. Anyway, really enjoyed this. So this is still New Zealand. This is the Shantytown Museum. So this is set up to be what a mining town would have been like. And it's one of the places I've been that probably when it opened it was really cool, but when I visited it really needed some more money. But I wanted to go because they literally run the steam engine every single day of the year. They're closed Christmas and New Year's Day. The rest of the time they're running and they run the steam train. So I was like, well, I want to go along. So I phoned up and said, look, can I come take photos? And they went, yeah, sure, you can have photos. We'll arrange it for you. So headed out there and disappeared up to the railway and was quite disappointed. Because despite how pretty the loco was, the guy who I talked to, who was going to be my guide and show me around, his child had been taken ill and was in hospital, and the guy who replaced him obviously knew nothing about it because it wasn't the guy's priority. So very, it was initially very disappointing. I started chatting to the driver, and he became a bit more chatty. The problem is the railway runs. You can see the gap here in the bush where it runs through. And there are like 2 pictures to take a picture, and sadly it works on the back of the train, so there was nowhere to get a photo for most of this, which was hugely disappointing. And I found it quite challenging. Again, this is the gap that it's running through, is through basically rainforest. Cracking locomotive, though, it looked superb. And again, showing really the territory. There were no places really to get a photo of this running. Particularly, it's pushing the train, it's the wrong end, so it was real challenging. Yeah, sorry for the cursor. It was a stunning thing. Well, that's a blurry picture, but it serves again the purpose of that's the station at the other end of the line. It's just cut through the rainforest, and then there's a station. It was just. I was so disappointed by it because I'd got all day there. Yeah, it was very expensive for the day out. It was just so disappointing. And then I started talking to the guy, and he was like, "Oh, would you want to come for a footplate ride?" I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to." Chat. Oh, I'm a driver in the UK. Chat. And so on the next trip, he was like, "Oh, do you want to come again?" I was like, "Yeah, all right." And on the way up, he went, "Well, can you just put the injector on for me?" I was like, "Yeah, no worries." put the injector on. He's like, oh, nice one. Chat. He's like, do you want a fire? I'm like, yeah. He went, right, off you go. So for the rest of the day, I was the fireman, and on the final trip, I drove it. Like, this should not have happened. I'm from the wrong side of the world. And I ended up driving that. So this is why there's the photos of it and why I'm showing you. Because on the wrong side of the world, I ended up being the crew on this engine. And I absolutely loved it. So the place itself definitely needs love and work. But as an experience, going to the wrong side of the world and having to play, amazing. Absolutely loved it. Yeah. Swannage, we also have the Money Museum. Oh, yes, you do. I talked to the guys, B Bars Aviation, about going and doing some stuff at the railway there. Yes, I have been to Leighton Buzzard Railways a couple of times, actually. There's also Blenheim Railway where I am. It's 15-inch gauge, but it's a main loop steam outline called Winston. Oh, fair enough. The Quarry Hunslet. The annoying the loco was pushing the coaches. I know, it was so sad. Working the steam loco on this, it was just, oh, so good. Anyway, so this was the bit that I basically drove, was at the end of the day to go and cold and water it. Loved it. And that's my view from crewing this locomotive when we took it off to go cold water. There are some things you're doing, you're like, this is unbelievable, and this was one of them. It was absolutely just beyond anything else I've done. And that was it on shed at the end of the day. And my mum, my brother, and his... No, it was just mum and brother. They dropped me, and I said, I'll be done by 4, because they finished doing the trains. And at 5 o'clock, I'm still there, because I'm helping out with the ashing out and doing the disposal. And they're like, we gave up going surfing to come and collect you. I'm like, yeah, just another hour. I just need to finish putting the engine on. Which was super. Burning coal. It was great. It's a cracking engine. I'd love to go back there and have another day there. I really would. Right, that brings us to the end of New Zealand. So to be fair, honestly, I'm just going to go through the rest of these alphabetically, because there's basically 1 or 2 photos, and then we'll do a big bit finish off with a big bit on Poland and Polish stories. So, alphabetically, that means we're going to Beamish. I like Beamish. Beamish is amazing. For those of you who haven't done it, it's the museum, the open museum from the north. It's super... there are 3 railways. There's this one, the narrow gauge, then there's the wagon way, and then there's a standard gauge. I don't think I've got a picture of the wagon way. This is Peter Pan from Leighton Buzzard, and it just... Does it not look perfect? It's sat there. Obviously it looks a bit overgrown, but there's a digger next door to it. There's a couple of wagons. There's a Ruston. Just looks... just cracking. Pretty sure it's the Beamish anyway. More Beamish. Yes. This is Bon Accord. I love Bon Accord. It's something that I keep trying to make happen for a review. And that hasn't happened yet. This is Diana working again on the miniature rail. Again, I love it because we have another to run soon. Next time you come over to New Zealand, the run from Christchurch all the way to Southern Alps and go, wow, that sounds... Yes, I think I know that, Matthew. I think I know of it. It was pretty good. Anyway, I like Diana. Again, it's another engine that's on the to-do list. I like the little advanced roller. I'd love this because it just feels like a proper scene. It looks like where you can actually have a real little railway. It doesn't look like a heritage thing. It looks like a real place. The other railway. So there's 4 railways. Yeah. The coffee pot. Is that not just cool? I mean, this is worth a photo just because. Look at it. The engine's there at the front, which drives down. There's a steam pump on the side for water. It's just, there's magic going on there, and I really like it. That's basically all that needs to be said about this. I really, really like it. I've done the Sittingbourne Railway several times. It is a Barclay with the side skirts. Yes, it was. I built Metal Dino. Got the owner of Dino's lovely. I know Phil quite well now, and he's lovely. Yeah, it's anyway, so that's cool. And that's a Puffing Billy replica, I think. Some kind of replica, I can't remember what it is. Anyway, Bon Accord, the Barclay again. Barclay with side skirts. Side skirts are awesome. It makes it one of my favourite Barclays of all times, mostly because it's got side skirts, and that's a really good thing to have. It's just gorgeous. I have a book. In fact, I have 2.5 bookcases full of books, but one of them, it has a picture of one of these Barclays with its side skirts in. I had this book when I was about 10, and I've treasured it ever since. And Bon Accord is one of them, and they just look, oh, they're so nice. Yes, they are. Anyone have fire trains? No, they don't have blue flashing lights. People have trains or water tankers on standby that they can get if there's a fire, but not really. A vertical boiler like for your 009. Yes, that's very good. Met the owner of Diner at Stratford-upon once. Yes, he's lovely. It's Samuel. It's one of the things. It has been approved, and he's well up for us doing it. It's just getting it to actually happen and arranging it with the railway it's based at. Yeah. Cracking little loco. So that's Bon Accord, lovely, and again Bon Accord, same thing, just with the Northeastern Railway Saloon. I think it just it looks brilliant, doesn't it? Absolutely superb, brilliant. Can't fault it at all. Which brings us to the end of the section on Beamish. If you're interested in Beamish and we want to do this again, if you guys are enjoying it, we'll do another one on Beamish where we'll just look at a load of pictures from Beamish, because I have a load of pictures from Beamish. So moving on. This is Camelot at the Bluebell Railway, and I like this because it looks like it's on the main line. This is the only reason. It's just up from Horsted Keynes before it goes back to the single track, but it just for a second you can kind of believe that it's on the main line. Also, the rods were down, and that's the main reason for this. Rods are down, good picture, happy days. Also like this, just it looks believably Southernite. Okay, we're in the right area. We're at the Bluebell Railway. It's on the right stock, so it looks right. My friend Alfie will love this because he loves these engines, and it's again believable for what it would be, because they did end up working down these little lines, and the only thing that spoils it is the plastic bag of hay bales in the corner, because otherwise this would be basically timeless, and it's just great. And then that was it, catching the light on the way back with the Pullmans. I like a glint. I can't complain. I like the glint. Thought it was cool. I'm not stood in the middle of the field. I am on a public footpath. I'll just make that clear at this point, but was very happy with it. Side skirts make a loco call. It's a rule. Yes, it's the same kind of carriage the Great Western turned into rail cars. No, don't think so. Never seen anything like it. Oh, isn't it just pretty cracking? It's lovely. Diana's lovely. That's where it's normally. No, it's normally at not Apedale, at Amerton. It's where it's normally based, I think. City of Wales at Bluebell. Yeah, it was lovely. But it was nice. It was 2017. I just can't remember where it is. Make it into Go-Gans. Yeah, Alfie's a big fan of these. He hides it well, but actually is a big fan. So moving on to Bredgar as requested. Only a couple of pictures from Bredgar. I love this. It is so high on my list of locomotives to review. It's unreal. I just think it's a Fowler. Fowler clearly didn't know what they were doing when they built locomotives. They pretty good at traction engines, thought they do locomotives, ended up with this. Magnificent. You have the rails up here for the teak logs. It was designed to be a wood burner. Isn't it cracking? It's just Also, if you haven't been to Bredgar and Worms Hill, worth going to one of their steam galas, because they have so much going on, because it's a short railway and they're just constant train action. Like, there's too much going on. It's brilliant, and running through the little wooded area here is delightful. I've driven there now twice. There's one review out, the other one I need to release, as still many videos. It's just so pretty. This is Igu. This is Bob. Bob's got a weird name. The reason I like this is kind of twofold. A, it's working hard. B, it's got a little goods train. Forget the people in it. That kind of ruins the photo somewhat. But also, it used to be at Bressingham, and Bressingham is very important for me because I used to be there when I was little. It's just lovely. It's a little O. I think it's a little O&K. 90% sure. Yeah, it's a little O&K, and I just think it's gorgeous. It's just such a pretty little steam engine. Joe, yes, the Fowler Burnswood. It's great. One thing I can take away from this stream tonight is every photo appears. So I love this. Yes, well, I do. I like a lot of my photos. I went through photos I enjoyed. This is the other Fowler, which is a bit different to Zambiki. I think this is Zambiki. Anyway, this is the other one. Again, a cracking engine. I'm sure sure it's another Fowler. I want to say it's another Fowler, but it looks very similar to the Hunter or Clark, so I'm going to be quiet on this point. No, is it Hunter or Clark, or is it Fowler? I don't know, can't remember. It's another engine. Worked abroad, very pretty. Moving on. Like this, Glint. It's Bob again. Little tractor. It just sums up why I like these days, because they have the tractor giving rides, and they have the wagons giving rides. It's a good day out. Egog. There we go. We sorted it. No, Bob is a coal burning engine. Limpopo. That's it. Thank you very much. I like Limpopo. There we go. Isn't it cracking? It's just lovely. It's just great. I remember the Royal Scot being at Bressingham. I remember it being there. I was there when they started overhauling it. Lovely thing. Yeah, Limpopo, lovely light, lovely day, happy engine. I just think it's lovely. Looks so nice with the stock, doesn't it? Anyway, that concludes our pictures here. Moving on to the let's do Chasewater next, because that's alphabetical. This is the first picture I got of Teddy. And I know the owner of it semi-well, who was the deputy editor of the Steam Railway Mag, and he saw me here and emailed me straight after and being like, can I get the picture of Teddy, please? This is the picture of Teddy that he wanted, and it's been used, I think it got published, and it's been used in media for Teddy several times. Teddy looks daft on a... no, it's not the first time I saw Teddy. I tell you a lie. This is Teddy's last day in service. They let it go up the line on its own. And it makes me very happy, because Teddy, next door to a Mark 1, this was its last day in service. There are several things to take from this. Firstly, look how low the cab is compared to the size of Mark 1. It's like Ruston 48 size. Number 2, look at the size of the teeny cylinders. They're like toy size. And then look at the size of the tiny wheels. It's so cute. It's just so beautifully cute. Teddy is a Yorktown, I think. Is Yorktown Peckett, I think that's what they call it. And it's lovely. Yes, it's just moved, hasn't it, to be closer to the owner. Why are the wheels so small? To give it a better tractive effort. Small wheels, higher tractive effort, basically. It's just great. Love Teddy. Absolutely just adore it. So, yes, anyway, the owner saw me and asked for the photo. That's the main reason for this one. This is going over the causeway. It's a lovely line again. If you've not been, great there. Possibly my favourite Barclay of all time. Colin McAndrew, now at the... what's the branch line called on the Great Central Railway? Can't remember. Somebody help me in the comments. Can't remember what it is. It's... Teddy should go to the MSR. We'd love to have Teddy at the MSR. Teddy isn't stupid. Teddy's wonderful. It's a really good example of a very small locomotive and what you can do with tiny cylinders. Coffee tin cylinders, yeah, they are absolutely tiny. The engine was used for Percy. I can imagine it went to. Love the upper green. Yes, it did. Do they have to get off and push? No, it's okay. Does the Mark 1 quite happily. I can't think where this one is now. Montreal, yes, thank you. Montreal line, that's where it is now. Montreal. It's tiny. It's not that much bigger than Teddy. It's got bigger wheels, but it's a tiny little engine. And it's my favourite Barclay because it's this and Bonaccord are my favourite because it's just so wonderfully twee. It's just... And again, I love Chasewater because you get these lovely little bits of railway like this where it's just... In fact, if I crop the photo slightly so we lose the fence. There we go. And I can do this so we lose my face as well. It's just... The light's coming through. It's dappled light. It's just... Oh. I must sound like a complete whatever kind of talking about this about my own photos, but... I like this. I like this because you don't often kind of see the diesely things. But on a miserable day, with not much lever things and a greenery, and the sign in the foreground, it just looks right, doesn't it? You look at this and go, that's back in the day. That could well be actually working, out of a colliery on the National Coal Board. And for that, I'm all for it. This is when I buy Colin Andrew, if I had the money. Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. Albert Iplin Valley is amazing. Yeah, Barclays are great. If I have the money, I'm buying a Barclay. Same thing. Little diesel. I think this... I want to say it's a Vanguard? Can't remember. Is it Sentinel? Is it a Sentinel? Could be a Sentinel. But yeah, it's a Sentinel. Let's go with the Sentinel. It looks just perfect running on the goods train. Doesn't it? Just looks like back in the day. Could well be back in the day. Looks proper. Happy days. Have you managed to see? I haven't seen Elizabeth II yet. No, or Tor Valley. Not in its current livery anyway. No. Durango. Right. We're moving to America now. I headed out and went to Durango. So, I was out filming. This is to make yourself comfortable for story time, Lawrie. I was out filming in America many, many years ago in my previous life when I used to work in the film industry. And I was out there for 5 weeks on this feature film. Low budget, only it's like a $5 million budget film, which for films is tiny budget. And when it finished, I had decided that I wanted to go to Durango. I'd always wanted to go to Durango. And I had messaged the railway, not really understanding it, and went, "Hi, I'd like to take some photos. Can you tell me any good photo locations?" And they were like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, I want, get in a car, follow the railway." And like, the railway runs through the wilderness. There are no roads. I was like, oh, I see. I kind of just assumed there were roads. It's America. And they're like, no. The only way to get to some of the places along the railway are the railway. Oh. And it's like, we serve a campsite. The only way you get to the campsite is by train. The only way you get away from it is by train, unless you want to walk. Oh, okay. Whoops. So they said, what weekend are you visiting? And I messaged and they went, oh, well, that happens to be our photo charter week, like where we take you up the line, you get off and take pictures. I'm like, perfect, let's do that. So I turned up the day before where they had an evening photo charter that I hadn't been able to get on. And was just chatting to guys there. I'm like, you've come from the UK, yeah? To see this, yeah? Come along, have an extra seat on the evening photo charter. And, it was just, the atmosphere was magical. It felt proper nice. And I loved it. Absolutely, I love the atmosphere. I love doing it. You can see there's a couple of spots in my camera lens because I've been hanging around all the dirty stuff. It's the K36, and they're just my favourite engines. I remember seeing them in... is it Making Tracks, the series on BBC that my interest is in? I think it is. And it was, I've loved them ever since. They're just so chunky for the gauge. As you can see down here, guys, they're outside frames, so you've got counterweights here and the wheels inside the frame. They're just huge on their gauge, and it was just lovely. I really loved it. I really loved it. Yeah, the snowplow's brilliant, isn't it? Very atmospheric. Country light show. Yeah, they were all burning when I was there, I think. Can't remember if I think they were all burning. Again, I love this photo because I just like him stood there at the front of it with a fag. Just for our American viewers, that means cigarette, just to throw that out there. It's just at the end of the day, with me engine. Love it very much. But that's about the same. Anyway, and that's it on Shed. It looks so good. Again, blow my own trumpet and everything, but that is proper. Steam coming out the side of it, around the sides, there, the headlights still on. It's what dreams are made of, isn't it? Let's be honest. I'll buy a print. Interestingly, we will be putting photos up when I finish rebuilding the website. Go me, if the person doesn't know computers, building the website, it's going well. There will be the option in the shop to buy prints, and this will now be one of them. So we'll be doing that. I've seen the running in for Hagley Hill. I enjoyed that. Anyway, and then they opened up more of the shed and there were more locomotives. And it's like, brilliant, let's see more of them. Yeah. Ta-da. Have you been... I have not been to Congress and Toltec. It's on my list to go and do. Anyway, part of the photo charter. So this is the famous horseshoe curve. And I decided to climb up the rock face. Almost fell off, almost died, no problems, but was worth it for the shot of it just being there. Love the coaches, love the locomotive. It's just... Ooh, face. There we go. It was great. Absolutely superb. They did 3 run pasts here, and for the final one, they decided they'd be really funny and disconnect all the coaches apart from the caboose. There was or maybe there's just one coach. No, just the brake coach, and just came trundling along with one coach, which was hilarious, but also sport the photos. Bridge, I got wet feet getting this picture. There are stepping stones, and I got a wet foot trying to get this, but well worth it. Just seeing it trundle through. Unfortunately, it's a little bit soft on the engine, which is really disappointing, but I can live with that. For me, that really sums up my trip. It just the coaches are lovely. It was wonderful. That was kind of the shot I wanted. That sums up American railroads to me. American railways and the narrow gauge was just mega. Same pitch. You can see some of the stepping stones that I'd been on in order to get to where I was. It was possibly a poor move in retrospect. Again, I probably should have chosen one of these photos rather than both of them, but never mind. More of the photos of it just running them. So, turns out, I didn't realise this at the time because I'm an idiot, and this was like coming up to being a decade ago. 8 years ago, I think. Where I'm standing, this is ice. this here, that shows how thick the ice is. But this is all river. All of this here, all of this area, this is river. I am stupid because I'm stood on the ice to get a picture of the steam engine. It didn't, as you can probably tell, it didn't die, and it didn't go badly wrong, and it didn't break. But it was a poor choice. But it was just being in the valley with the locomotive and the train alongside it was just superb. Apparently, I've got two of the same photo there. Good work, me. Different location. Unfortunately, somebody's just ruined it, so we'll just crop it in. There we go. I like all of it. I just like it. You can see some of the area that we'd gone and stood on. This area. You tough people. And I also like the fact that the snow was enough that the snowplow was just gently working its way through it. Also like this, coming through the bridge, very narrow gaugey things. Just superb. Happy days. Good trip. Enjoyed it. I really did enjoy doing the trippy thing. Because, you know, it's fun. That's all from Durango. I do have more from them if we ever want to redo that, but we'll cover that in another thing one day. I do have a load of photos from my trip to the Hearts. There's also a video from my trip to the Hearts to some point I did together at some point in the future, but that's for a story for another time. Moving on. I got very wet taking this photo. You can probably just see, if we zoom in a little bit, you can see the rain that was absolutely bucketing it down all around USA. And you can see the haze kind of coming along here of it. I think it's well worth it because it was such a it's a photo that had some real atmosphere to it, and it was worth being out there and being part of it. But it was so wet. It was so damp. And obviously USA is now in the Berry Transport Museum. It doesn't run anymore, but it was lovely seeing it. It does look a little bit silly on the single line, but I love the steam, love all of it. Was very good. Yes, I've seen Garrett's for articulated locos, and I've seen Malays, but I've not seen the big giant stuff in the States. Did love number 9. Looked really good there. Got sodden, absolutely sodden. You'll notice in the latest video, at the East Lancs video of the Diesel Gala, that I do sit on this same wall. It's one of my favourite shots to do. I like this as well, just because of the autumn colours around it. It's the Great Marquess. There's not much more to say. I like it. I like the engine. I like the black versus the colours of the autumn around it. I like the bridge. There's a shot in the East Lancs Diesel Gala somewhere over there looking across it. Not much more to say, really. Like that. Think it's good. Pretty cool. I love the crab. I think that's the main thing to say. Please tell me you went on the footplate when you went at the East Lancs Diesel Gala. I was. Have you not watched the video yet, Mad Man of York? Because it's all in the video. Here, rip number 9. Yes, and goodbyes, Great Marquess. Where is that wall at East Lancs? It's just down from wherever this picture is, which is Well. I like this. I like the crab. I like the A class that was visiting. Sure, it's the A. Working. I love the fact the valves are lifted. I like the fact it's done all the work, and the crab is just sat there behind it being like, yeah, whatever, and it's stonking up. I love it. Oh, hold on, I'll move my face over there. Yes, there we go. The face goes there now. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, pictures go, it really does scream that it's doing something, doesn't it? Face goes over here now. I like moving my face around. Oh, the footplate of number 9. No, I didn't do the footplate of number 9. I wasn't really doing this kind of thing when number 9 was doing stuff. Wasn't certainly big enough to get near it. Next, we're going to the Ipswich Railway, which sadly has closed now. And it is genuinely sad. This is one of their galas they did, and I had really high hopes for it. They had a Sentinel gala with Gervais and William, which is an LMS liveried one. Yeah, it's real sad. This was their demonstration goods train. They were top and tailed all day because the railway didn't really go anywhere, but it just had such high hope. The stock was all nice. The 2 Sentinels running. That was William that was named it, for the 2 Sentinels running there. The little diesel at the back. It was just a really pretty little line. It was really nice, and it's just, I liked that as it came trundling out from under the bridge, making a bit of a song. Gervais is really weird. There we go, double header of 2 Sentinels. Looking now, Sentinel kind of as built and then a modified Sentinel, because it was the Gervais was a Manning Wardle, I think, originally, and then Sentinel converted it into one of their engines. But you can see the similarities between the two, because they basically went, yeah, it's going to look like this, but it's got outside motion rather than anything else. A massive shame this railway's gone. A real shame. It's one of those places that I visited and thought there was so much potential, and it was a really nice group of people. They were enthusiastic about it, was really excited, and then it just, yeah, it closed, and that's it. It was really sad. I don't think I've been on 55, 52. Maybe I have. I can't remember. Why were they called crabs? Various guesses. People not really sure. They think maybe because of the step running plate for some reason. I can't remember. Whipsnade Zoo. Yes, I have been to Whipsnade Zoo, mainly because I want to do the railway. I did my mainline PTS assessment at Railscar. Fair enough. Being there in 2009, the railway wasn't running at the time. Fair. I just thought they were cracking. I thought it was really good. They put on this really strong event. I love the Sentinels. I'm a big fan of Sentinel engines. I would definitely have one. And it was such a nice line. They were really nice about letting us go line side. The light was lovely. The whole day was lovely. They put on these really cool little goods trains. They had a really intensive timetable. It was a really good day. Sometimes you go to a gala and, you know, pay your ticket and ask for line side pass, and it's just a good day. I was with my mate James. We had a really nice day. Got some nice pictures. It was really good. And now it's not. It's all gone. So very sad. Moving from this on to another one. Have you been to the Avon Valley Light Railway? If you'd watched from the start, Joe, you would have seen the pictures from the Avon Valley Light Railway. Well, the Avon Valley Railway, rather. So, yes, I have. This was Cranford, which we visited. It made one run up the bank at Foxfield. And it, as you can tell, was having a go at it. It was having a proper go at it. I do like the bank. So, for those of you who haven't been to Foxfield, well worth going for one of their galas where they charge up the bank. I think all the photos I'm about to show you are going up the bank, and the engine's maker, it's just good. So no worries, Joe. It was only one photo of Bell and Willie the Well Tank. Yeah, this is Dunlop number 6 and Kent number 2, and that's just happiness. Charging up a ridiculously steep bank where they're actually working, doing something, and Bandlander outside. The weird thing is they're seemingly not doing anything with the liners to cancel the ones who are. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. I don't know what's going on. The best coal railway in the country. Oh, Foxfield's great, isn't it? Absolutely super. Again, you go along for the. Sorry for hitting the microphone, ladies and gentlemen. You go along for the day. You see this, and you just go pay your money, sit by the side of the railway, and watch engines go thundering up a bank. Absolutely wonderful. Hello to random thing 3. How are you doing? Absolutely love it. Like the austerities when they go up there. Basically the whole bank is photographable, and just seeing austerities on a freight like a proper mineral NTB freight, absolutely brilliant. This one is not Wimbledon, it's the other one. I can't remember what it is. Had 20 minutes of third rail just past the level crossing. No, really? Yes, I saw the Kirsto back, and I have been talking to them about that, Ben, because I want to do it very much. Yeah, Chona and Foxfield are very close to each other. 6 small wheels productions. Hello. Railway photography is one thing this road gives, but I do love taking pictures of trains. Welcome to the 2 Sentinels. Gervais is now at Quainton Road, and William, do you know what? I haven't got a clue where that went. Don't know where it's gone. Bell is it's Two of my favourite industrial locomotives in this photo. I love Bell. I'm talking when it comes back, it's hopefully going to appear on the channel, and the Dubs at the back. When it comes back, it's hopefully going to appear on the channel. They're just brilliant, aren't they? They're just absolutely working hard. It's painting the world black, and that's just. It's doing what it was meant to do, like work trains, and I love the valve gear on the side of Bell. It's just cracking, isn't it? Oh, just look at the rods. It's why the outside. Oh, it's just it's brilliant. And the Dubs. Look at the Dubs. Look at it with its crane. Isn't it great? Brilliant. I love it. I have not been to Peak. I've not got photos of Peak Rail. I have photos of it, but they're not on this. You have not missed it. I have been to Peak Rail. That's Cranford making its run up the bank again. I think it did some shunting and then it stonked up. I love the fact the poor tree, and you can see the tree has been coated black through its years. Yeah, it's just so good watching them go up there. It's very good. This is Dunlop and Kent number 2 working their way around again. Still really working with quite. I love the fact the hoppers are the same. Like when you think of a stereotypical freight train, you think of maybe a 3-plank, a 5-plank, or a 7-plank, which are very much smaller than a locomotive. And then you've got these huge, great hoppers. They look like toy trains, don't they? Particularly in their nice bright liveries. They look like toy trains stonking their way up there. I need to get back to Foxfield. I'm really excited to go back to Foxfield. Oh god, I've missed lots of stuff in the chat. Foxfield will feature in the absolute great documentary. Oh, it's absolute history. Fair enough. Love the austerities. I like austerities. The Leek and Rudyard Railway is not from. Oh, is Leek and Rudyard? Is that different to the Rudyard Lake Railway, or is that something different? I believe some parts were bought from Anne on the. That wasn't William, was it? That was cut up. No, that was a different one that was cut up for Anne. I like the World Tank. Kent number 2 is at Peak Rail at the moment. Yes, you're right. I'm listed as David. Oh, fair enough. I love small 040s. Kent number 2. Yep, and it's not done. Yes, you're right. Sorry, it was fourth. Or was it Dunlop? Not sure. I can't remember which one it was. It's nice seeing this stuff worked. Hello, Oliver. Good evening. And then there's the Dubs. Dubsy. Whoa, Dubsy. Love Dubsy. It's it's bonkers, and I love the fact there's a steam crane that did work and it was overhauled, and the crane worked and they could use the crane. It's wonderful, isn't it? What a piece of kit. What an absolute hero of a locomotive. Leek and Roger bought the loco. Fair enough. I would like to. It's on my list of places to go. I've never been, but I'd like to go. Just if you want to do a subtle plug, do you want to do a video? Get in contact, push the things, invite us along. Love to come along and drive one of the things there. It looks great setup. And I've not done it, so it's not one that I'd like to tick off my list of things to do. Anyway, that's business done. We'll move back onto this. Have you been to Northampton Landport? Yes, I am going, actually. I'm going to their gala. I need to finish arranging that. Next picture. How many locomotives do we need on this train, do you think? How about everything that works today? Let's have Bell, let's have Dubs, let's have Winston the Austerity, and let's have Cranford. Yeah, that's a good idea. How many wagons are there? It's about 1.5 wagons each. I think that's a good ratio, don't you? Yeah, I think it's a good ratio. Also, if I move my face down to here, go over there. I love all this. It's just brilliant, isn't it? They're good galas. I don't know yet, Joe. I think maybe... I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe the Monday. Same picture. Anyway, can't remember. It'll be good. Anyway, are we all enjoying this, guys? Or are you bored stiff? I mean, I'm assuming you're enjoying it because you're still here. But who's been here since the beginning? Just out of interest at this point. I didn't see Ugly at Foxfield. I have fired Ugly when it was at Spa Valley. Where have you been invited to drive at? Quite a few places. I can't remember which day I'm going, honestly. I've got other stuff on that weekend and I can't remember what it was. Yes. Kirklees Light Railway. I quite like Kirklees. I'm meant to be going there and doing some stuff as well. Anyway, Great Central. Great Central is one of those railways that is really hard to get a good photo at. This isn't a bad photo. Mostly because it's on austerity, and I like austerities, and seeing a small tank engine charging along with the GC was great. And I like GC. Oh, nice work, guys. Since we realised Goose wasn't awful nice. This is different and enjoyable so far. Oh, I'm pleased to hear it. Been here since the start, still interested. Wait for Poland. Poland, well, we're going to finish on Poland because it's a highlight and I have stories from Poland. Like the austerity, again, the austerity was out that year and I was interested to catch the austerity. Seeing it on the, it's like the wind cutters, isn't it? They just looked great. And seeing it stonking along at speed. I know if I was going to buy a big engine, I'd buy an austerity. They're very pretty, aren't they? This is also for people who haven't been. You can't do this shot anymore. These are all houses, so you could probably do it if you owned one of the houses and you're in the back garden, but you can't really do it. The K36s, like I showed earlier from Durango, are my favourite derby. They're just, I love them. They're brilliant. Oh, hello. Good evening, Kapil. Awesome to catch you live. Glad you joined in. YouTube told me the stream started 12 minutes ago. Well, that's unfortunate. Sorry about that. It's been going, oh yeah, an hour and 4 minutes, an hour and 40 minutes even. Wow. Are there plans to do Steam at East Lancs Railway? Yes, actually, that is in the works at the moment. What railways have you been to in the US? The Smoky Mountains Railway, Durango, the Colorado Railway Museum, the Denver Railway Museum. About it, really. Yeah, about it. I still have started streaming less than a minute ago on my stream. Fair enough. The Oak. Oh, I'm going to get no gauge austerity. It's going to happen too. Yeah, anyway. So, the Crab and the B12. Bright liveries. Very attractive. Definitely would do again. Freight on the GC. Same shot. Can't do it anymore. But just, it looks about right. Just looks about right. All of the kind of wagons, a bit of grime on them. By the way, the Wagon and Wagon group at the GC based at Corner Woodhouse, good people. Met them. Really good guys. Like preserving the wagon history. Very important. Very good. Hello, Diesel Elevators. Good evening. Have I been to the Lavender Line? Yes, I have. Give a hint on the loco. We've talked about it in the chat. My favourite engine, 78018. Love it. Looks great on the vans, doesn't it? Just, I love the clouds gathering in the background of this as well. And it's just such a cracking little engine. It's an absolutely cracking thing. I love it. I love the standard twos. The standard twos were about right. Just spot on. Anyway, that's all from GC. Oh, Keithley. This was like when I'd got my new camera and I took some pictures, and I've always just liked this. I really like the Dub D in the front end and the coal tank just blurry in the background. Always just a bit overexposed, but always just really liked it. It's always worked really well. Derpy must depart. Oh, sorry to hear that, but hope you've enjoyed it. The pump trolley video was epic. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I have no idea if it was in Dr. Pichu or not, James Hardy, I'm afraid. Anyway, I just like that. It's just nice. Terribly overexposed on this side. In fact, the whole photo is overexposed. But I like the 4F. Nothing more to say. I like the 4F going around there. And again, slightly overexposed. But underexposed on this side as well. But that was City of Wales before it moved to think. This was the Volcano when it had just come back into service, and I'd always wanted to go see the Volcano. And yeah, the Volcano. There's a video coming out that I have still to edit of my trip to the Hearts years ago. Went to the Hearts years ago. And yeah, that's a video of me charging around the Hearts and riding stuff. So that will come out at some point in the hopefully not too distant future. probably after my China event. Oh, we talked about the lavender line. Here's the lavender line. The only reason I like this photo is because it's Alfred and Judy, next door to Austin number 1 and the DMU. And I just think, same picture, different angle. I love Alfred and Judy. Out of they are possibly 2 of my favourite steam engines of all time because they're just daft, aren't they? Absolutely daft. I went for a footplate ride on them, and you stand on the footplate and my head sticks out the top of the roof. That's how small they are. They're absolutely magnificent. You could do a hire a pump trolley. That sounds great cracking. I'm going to have to do that. Funnily enough, Joe, there's photos of the North Yorkshire Moors coming up. They're just not Bill and Ben, they're Alfred and Judy. They're just brilliant, aren't they? Just absolutely superbly daft, and they are both so high on my list of things that I want to do. Oh, you're welcome. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Ed Scaledicki, but I'm glad you enjoy them. That was a great gala at the yes, it was. Well, they used QA Library. They were used on the at Port-au-Par. Funnily enough, the line that they went to was very low, and in order to get onto a low bridge where the road I think went over the top, the wagons fitted, so the locomotives had to fit. So they were cut down massively, so they would go. Yeah, the clay pits. That was it. And in order to get under it, they had to be very low, which is why they're like this. And amazingly, they both survived. But they're fine. Roughly how long till the Swannage photos comes up? Not that far. That's not me. You do well. You just keep your head down, but yes, or you stick your head out the chimney and get very dirty. So, that was a good day out at the Lavender Line. I really enjoyed it. Where we are? Oh, main line, the Midhants, then North Yorkshire. The Swannage is. I mean, I can jump to Swannage if you particularly want to jump to Swannage if you've got to disappear anywhere. But in the meantime, I've got to go back and just do mainline stuff. Right. This one was particularly interesting for me because it's the Standard 4 out running light engine from the Norfolk Railway down through Thetford to go that way to go do its mainline proving runs. I never thought I'd see a Standard 4 on the main line because, let's be honest, it's too small to do anything useful on the main line. So the fact that these guys got it on the main line and got it out there, I had to go and see it. Because it's great. Hello, George Sweets. I'm great, thank you. I haven't got anything of Enton and Barnstable in this particular show. Should have put them in, but I haven't got anything. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to go see this and to see it go because it was an amazing spectacle. I never thought I'd get to see this. This is one of those things that I wasn't meant to ever be able to see. See mainline steam be a Standard 4 on the main line. It's just brilliant. Absolutely super. Oh yeah, but not in my history. I think it was going up to Carnforth for its trips up there. Although I don't think anything really happened with it on the main line because again, it's too small. But absolutely cracking locomotive. I love seeing it. Another one of my favourite photos. This was December. It's number 9. It was misty. It was cold. It was a frosty morning. You can see the frost alongside the truck bed. And the noise. Oh. I think this was the first time I'd seen an A4 at speed. And the noise was just... It was magic. You hear the whip crack, the crack, 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 and as you could hear it so long before it came up. I'll do the Swannage stuff next if you want. Yeah, it was just amazing. It was such a spectacle, and I wish I'd taken video rather than doing a stills photo because the video would have been so much better. Just that whip crack noise of it as it came stonking along. And A4s are interesting. They're such a strange looking locomotive, and I think it's this moment that I fell in love with the A4s. It's this moment that I went, I love it, and I love what this is, and I love everything about it. This amazing thing at speed, this absolute masterpiece of conquering speed. It's perfect. Oh, it was so good. That was lovely. Well worth getting very, very cold, waiting for it to come along. Of course, we can't do the main line without a picture of 4472, can you really? I like Scotsman. That's about all I'm going to say on it. Had to include it somewhere. This was its first run back to East Anglia after overhaul. It was very late because people go walk on the line because it's Scotsman. Wherever Scotsmen go, people go and sit on the railway because they're idiots, in the nicest possible way. I like Scotsman. It's very overrated. People make a lot of songs, but it's done a lot of good for highlighting the heritage railways and bringing more people in. People come to see Scotsman and they go back to places. It's been done a lot of good. It's cost a lot of money, but there was talk when it was going over budget of not doing it and abandoning it, and I think that would be a travesty. So the fact it's back and it's running, it's coming back. Is it back running again? It was out of service, wasn't it? But actually, you know what? I love, if it's going to be Scotsman as 4472 in apple green, I love it. In this livery, in BR livery, I love the smoke deflectors. I think they suit it really well. And let's be honest, if you're going to have the double chimney and have it on the main line, you want the smoke deflectors because otherwise you can see absolutely nothing. It's cracking. Yes, thank you. That's a spammy email. Thank you very much. Tornado. I like Tornado. This was it in Ipswich. I wanted a picture in my hometown of it being here. It stopped on one of its many trips in Ipswich in its BR. Do I plan on seeing the big boy? Yes, at some point. Yeah, so Tornado. I have fired Tornado and I've charged my mobile phone on the footplate of it when I was at Nene Valley. Job's a good one, really. Particularly like just under here on the running board across there, it's got lights. So when you're oiling it up in the dark, you can see what you're doing. And I think that's brilliant. Yes, that's it. Having a retube, wasn't it? I know it was out for work. Cromwell. This is I believe, the last steam engine to work under BR. It ran the day after the ban, going to, well, after steam finished. It ran the day after steam finished, so technically it was the end of steam, running up to Bressingham. Went up to Dis, I think, where they picked it off and took it off the railway. This photo is somewhere outside Ipswich. It had snowed. Cromwell had failed for some reason. The week before, it had to have something remetalled, and this was it coming back, and it was snow, and I like snow and I like steam, so perfect little thing to see it come charging along. Really enjoyed it, and I like Cromwell. I really like the Brits are just the kind of culmination of British engineering and everything, and the Britannia is just brilliant. I have no idea about Flying Scotsman's restrictions, no idea. Britannia's whistles are brilliant. They're lovely, aren't they? It ran the 15 Guinness special, and then it drove itself up to Dis. I'm sure it was Dis where it was picked off to go to Bressingham the day after everything finished. It's great, isn't it? Thank you, board real life. It's number 9 again, and I like this because just the light was lovely. It had been a miserable morning. Again, this is it on the Yuletide Express. So it's the next year after the previous photo of number 9, and the light had been miserable. It had been it was bucketing it down in the morning. I left in the dark with it coming down and just thinking, this is stupid. I had to leave at 5:30 in the morning for this shot, and drove up to Thetford and sat in the car until it was due. I was sat there going, I don't know why I bothered coming out to get the shot. Go out of the car and walked up to where I want to get the shot. And as you can see, it's dark over there, and it's dark over there. The trees are dark. It's just this slither of light came through and sometimes again you just hit that magic moment, and this was it. It was just beautiful. And the light just glinting through here and here. Oh, it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. I was absolutely so happy to get that picture. Really was. Standard gauge. Let's ignore the Devil's Bridge. It's my favourite thing. Every time we talk about the end of British Railway steam, everyone forgets about the Liv Rydal, because they were great. How did you not die from the cold? I put a jumper on. Going back to Standard Force, wasn't the standard tank on the Mason like so? Years and years and years and years, kind of not in recent history. I went to American A4's returned. I mean, they did, didn't they? They returned for the Great Gathering. But that was a long time ago now. Right, we're going to jump to Swannage just to muck up the system. Swannage! The U-boat. Like it. Pretty bit of line. Very pretty. Like it very much. It's pretty cool. I think the reason for this is the first time I saw it. I don't normally do diesel. In fact, this is the only picture of a mainline diesel, I think, in everything I put out today. But it just looks right, doesn't it? Purring round the corner there. Evening light. You can see it's under load. I do like a 33. But the stock there just looked really, really good. I did just... Yeah. Don't know. Normally my pictures diesels don't come out and I don't really enjoy them. This one, for some reason, I was just like, yes. You might notice by now, I really like a glint. And I really like the glint in this picture. He had just... You can see the cinder cocks are still open. I think he had them open because you can see the steam drifting through and it had almost ruined the shot. And he just shut them at the last moment and I managed to get that, which was super. It's SKP when it visited on a freight. I don't know why I really enjoyed it, but I like seeing a big express engine on a freight. It looked too nice and shiny for it to look realistic, but it was just a nice mix of stock, and I liked it. As photos go, of being able to pretend you're back in the day, that's pretty much it. Watching a standard 4 trundle pass with a freight, I mean, if we just forget about that bit there, I'll just put the cursor over that so you can't see it. That could be back in the day, couldn't it? Absolutely. That could 100% be a little train travelling around the Southern network. I mean, the standard 4 looks a bit too shiny to really, again, be on the freight, but you squint at it a little bit and you go, actually, yeah, it's a proper kind of travel back in time shot, you know. I like that. Not as good as an A4 on a breakdown train. No, I imagine. That's all I've got for the Swannage Railway. So, Mr. Barnes Aviation, you're free to go now because I've done the things you'll enjoy. Right, going back to Alfie's Railway. Yes. I like this. I like this because I like Great Western tank engines. And I like the fact that it's working uphill. And I like the fact that it's working hard. I like the fact that they've just opened up. The fact you can see the change in the colour of the smoke from the fact that it's actually doing something. I don't think I've got any pictures from... No, Jordan, I don't think I'm not on this one. I didn't put any pictures from MC in. I've got some, but I haven't put them in. The thing I like about this photo is the fact that it's just... You can see the moment they've opened up and gone, actually, we need to give it a bit more oomph, and it's doing some. So I like that. Have a good evening. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Yes, it was at a gala, for the record. Proper good long train, engine working hard. That's 4270, by the way. Same location. Again, it looks good, doesn't it? Okay, the engines were wrong for the stock, but going up the Alps, very much improved it. I like it very much. It looks good. And standard 2 on all the brake fans. It feels like early preservation. It's one of my favourite photos of preservation history, of looking like it's back on the early days of preservation. Not a heritage thing in the traditional sense of how it was in operational service, but you know, for someone of my age and for I guess a lot of you guys, we didn't know heritage when it first started from the preserved railways, and this is how several railways would have had their routes: a small tank engine and some brake fans. And you know what? Hilarious. It looks great, doesn't it? I can't remember which hall it was, honestly, at this point. I honestly can't. Next lot. There's quite a few of this, because coming up next is the MIDI. Sadly, this picture's a bit soft, but I like it for the reason that it's hornpipes. This was our first gala. That's hornpipe and Whittington, and this was 2012, which celebrated, I think, 50 years of the Midi reopening. Yeah, that's right, 2012. 60 years. Midi closed in 1952, so 02 was 50 years. 60 years of the Midi reopening, and it was the first time in the Midi's history that there were 3 engines working simultaneously on the railway. And yeah, for that, it looked silly for a little railway because we were only. I get, if you guys want a calendar, we'll do a calendar for 2023. Let us know in the comments below. But if you want a calendar, let us know and we'll make a calendar. This is a really important picture for me. It's 2 of my best friends, both called James. One of them recently got married. And we, at this point of this photo, were the youngest crew ever at the Mid-Suffolk Light Railway. I'm the driver, James in the middle is the cleaner, and James on the far side is the fireman. And we're on the Y7, and to that date, it has now been broken. There was been a younger crew than us, but at the time of that photo, that was the youngest crew ever to crew the locomotive at the Mid-Suffolk Railway during its preserved history. So I am super proud of it. It was a lovely day with 2 of my best mates. We had a great day. We had the Y7. It was Christmas. It was poxy cold, and yeah, I'm really proud of it. It was so nice to represent the railway, represent heritage with all people who are in our 20s. It was really good, really good. No, sorry, no more of the NVR. I only had like 1 of those. So yes, really enjoyed that. And I missed the Y7 because it's out of traffic. But it's a good photo. It's a nice photo of all of us. This was our second gala. So Whissington had gone away and been turned around, so it's backwards in the middle for some weird reason. And it's the Bagnall which came to visit and then stayed, which is the black one, which looked quite nice there. And this is Jubilee. So if for those of you who were there at the start of the video, of the stream, do you remember, you guys? Let us know if you were here for the start of the video. Because if you were here for the start of the video, the one done up as Percy used to look like this. This is when Jubilee looked proper. And now it's been into a Thomas character. But that's when she used to look nice. That's Jubilee looking really nice, really smart. And now it looks like Percy, which is very disappointing. Anyway, this was the everything running at our gala. It was a really good gala, actually. And thanks to Chris's Railway videos. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And yeah, there's no bus. Yeah, it is a bit of a trouble getting to the Mid-Suffolk, I'll be honest, if you don't drive. I live in Southport. Do you ever visit the Steamport? No, not yet. Anyway, yes. Again, we've ran multiple trains, multiple fixings. These 2 are fairly similar in age and works number. They're the same design. Some minor differences between the 2. That is by far the better engine. That is now, I think, for sale. It's going, or it might have sold. I think it might even have left the railway. Why did they rebuild her? Because for Thomas money, running Thomas. Hi Hazza, how you doing? Kids aren't gonna know why, just a place made attractive with a Percy. Yeah, I don't like Jubilee being a Percy, to be honest. I really don't. How many locusts we got running at Mid-Suffolk? Mid-Suffolk at the moment we've just got Whissington, I think. The boiler to tank ratio looks off. I mean, I think it's quite a good looking little thing, actually. Whereabouts is the Mid-Suffolk Light Railway? It's just off the A140, halfway between Ipswich and Dis. This was the end of the day shunt, and the light was lovely, and it was a really nice day taking pictures, and I really like Jubilee as it used to look. Had the high coal bunker on the front. Oh, so good. And we'd just done everything running, so the Whissington's there. You can just see it, make it out there, and the other Bagnall was on the front. And so this was then shunt releasing so they could go on shed. It was just lovely at the end of the day. This is before we had our restoration shed built. That's the first shed we still have. That's our running shed, and then this area here is now where our main shed is. And it was really good. Yeah, it was really good. Have you visited the I've visited the Boardman Railway. again, lovely light. On shed in the morning, I think, before we got it going, or in the evening. I honestly can't remember which way around it was. Might have to stop by on the holidays. It's Midi's well worth a day when it's running. For those of you actually listening, the 3rd and 4th of September is the Midi Gala, and we're taking the fleet. So it's going to be the biggest collection of my vehicles this year. Sorry, move the microphone. So it will be the biggest collection of my vehicles together this year. Jeep should be there. All being well, we're going to get Viking there. Probably Atlas. Should have the MR2s. The 106 should be there. Humpty should be there. Hopefully at Jeb, if I've made more progress with one of the other tractors, well, the other tractor, hopefully the 35. Some of the cars with a selection of whatever we can actually get fired up and get there. So 3rd and 4th of September, it's going to be the big meet. So if you guys want to come along and see us at the Mid-Suffolk Light Railway, it's their gala. We have Whittington, the tram, the 48 will be there, obviously not running. I don't know what else is going on, but yeah, come along, say hi, see me. We're going to have, we're hoping for at least 10 of our vehicles. So hope to see you guys there. So let us know if you want to come along. So yeah, East Anglian Railways in Thomas. Yeah, Connecticut Rail. They have number 54 converted into Thomas. Jubilee is Percy. They have a Fowler that's been turned into number 7. I think that's it. And they've got a coach that's turned into Henrietta. Whereas local to camp for the gala, there's accommodation basically opposite. There's converted coaches like B&B. Campsite, not sure. That's a simple answer. The tank is huge. I guess is where the extended coal bunker. It looks good, doesn't it? How long will it take? It will take me a day to get everything there. We can't have people to the shed. Is the simple with the terms of our rent. We can't have visitors. I'm working on something else which may come up in the next not too long. But yeah, Heritage Transport at Helston Railway. Nice. Depends how many recovery companies have it. Ouch. What's up with the 48? It needs its wheels sorting. Is the simple answer to that. On shed, pretty light. We talked about this before. This was when we had our shed, and it was the first time we had lights in our shed. And this was finishing one of the Santa turns, and I turned around and saw this and was like, I need to set up the camera and get a picture. This picture got picked up by the magazines and got published, which was great because they hadn't actually done the press release of the running shed being available and having the lights. So the first most people knew about it was the fact that I put a picture in the press. But I really enjoyed it. And again, the same event, just it sat there. The weather was just perfect. Having the lamp coming through there, it was just wonderful. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Ipswich Transport Museum, anything with the holidays? I know they got a fire engine day one day, which I've messaged them about taking dupes to and haven't heard back for. I might do the North Yorkshire Warfare Gala as well. I quite enjoyed it. Will Jubilee be back into back? I honestly don't know, James. I really don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah. Another quite nice pitch. So for one of our galas, we got the other Y7. So we had both Y7s together for the first time. They'd been together for a while. I'm going to lose my screen for this so I don't ruin the picture. So this was the day that I passed out on that, because I passed out as a driver on that one when it came to visitors for the gala, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was just really, really good, and so it's an important day for me, and to have the two of them together was superb. Obviously this one's done up as the NCB one. It's not the NCB one. The boiler is the NCB, but the frames are the Y7. So, but it shows the kind of evolution of the design quite nicely. This picture is really important because I made this happen. This is before 2012 when we were having our first gala, and the owner of Hornpipe is an old Ipswich guy, and the dockyard Ipswich used to have a really impressive dockyard system. If you ever Google around for Ipswich Dockyard Railway, it used to have this huge railway network serving the docks. Ipswich docks used to be huge. And it's all gone now. And I remember as a kid, my dad taking me down before the docks was redeveloped and all this gubbins went up, that we used to go along and drive along the docks, and we in the car and pretend we were a train, so we'd stop, change the points to go onto the different docks. And it's all been redeveloped. And this section here, you can see the railway isn't behind it. This section here was maybe 100 metres, and it was the last bit of railway. And so we had this engine coming, and I chatted to the owner and was like, do you want to do something a bit fun and interesting? And he went, what do you mean? So, well, as a publicity stunt, we could put the loco on the dockyard and have it to be the last engine ever on the Ipswich Dockyard. And so he went, oh yeah, see what if you can get any interest. And so we did, and this was the result. We managed to get a bus from Ipswich Transport Museum, a nice old car, and the Maritime Group helped as well. And yeah, we managed to massively upset Associated British Ports because we're blocking the entrance to them, but they don't own it. Network Rail owns that, and Network Rail went, yeah. You want to put an engine with no TPWS onto our network? Yes. Can't do that. It's not connected. What do you mean? Ipswich Docks, it's not connected to the network anymore. Oh yeah, no worries, yeah, we give them permission to do that. So I got permission to put the engine on there. And it was, yeah, so this is the last engine ever. I put it on there, over the moon about it, really, really enjoyed it. I just thought it was great, actually. So I'm really proud of that. I made that happen. Really, really happy to make that happen. Also, Lawrie, guess who's going up North Norfolk Railways? Are you going to North Norfolk? I like North Norfolk. I want to go back to the Isle of Wight. I'm trying to work on that. I'm looking forward to September 2, Charles. The Y7s are great. They do look cute. Hope you're being for the B4. I'd like to get the B4. That's a nice story right for you. September is going to be fun. Yes, it's going to be great. Hope people are going to come to the gala at Mid-Suffolk and say hi. There's also Lemons to be announced in the not too distant future, which is September as well. This isn't Chatham. This is Ipswich. I don't think it was military. I don't know. Ipswich was massive. Dad's stories about sneaking and go to the abandoned warehouse. Yeah, it was huge. Dundee Docks was yes, with impossibly tight curves. I mean, they all had tight curves because that was a similar picture. Honestly, I can't remember how I got this picture for the elevation. Absolutely no idea because I'm quite high up. Don't know how I managed it, but anyway, that's Hornpipe. Really, really enjoyed it. I haven't done Royal Deeside. I was meant to film at Royal Deeside, and then they went back into lockdown, so it couldn't happen because I was meant to do Bon Accord. Anyway, that I think brings us to the end of stuff around the MIDI. So very proud of that, indeed. Right, everybody still happy? Everybody still wants us to keep going? Nobody bored out of their minds? I mean, there are still like 81 of you watching, which is lovely. Didn't cover the context, but it's lovely. Boatard Engineer, I organised this. It's the last steam engine, it's the last locomotive on Ipswich Docks, and I made it happen. So very overjoyed about that. Where's this engine now? It's back at the a private railway of its owner. He has his own railway for it. So moving on. This is the Great Gathering, and when we get some more Lawrie Goes Loco, hopefully next week if I finish the video and get it approved by then. So this was the event when you missed the one of the Epping. I only had one picture of Eppinonga. This was the Great Gathering. I was one of the first in and managed to get this picture without too many people in the way. Obviously number 7, number 8 and number 9. What a wonderful thing to have done. 7, 8, 9 together, and then 6, 4, 6, 8 and 6, 9, 8, 9, which didn't really work so well. But these were all in BR livery. They're all in LNER livery. It was cracking. It was absolutely superb to see them all together. Obviously, it was a very quick picture because I didn't have time to get many. This is the Great Goodbye, where they were. I was annoyed by the Great Goodbye because they staggered them like this. You couldn't really get a decent picture of all of them together, and this person ruined my picture. So that's very rough. Keith and Dufftown, that's on my list of things to do. In fact, I need to phone them to organise things. Greatly sad no photos of the MIDI the last couple of years. I haven't really taken many the last couple of years, actually. We'll do some more pictures on the MIDI in the future. We'll do a whole thing on. We'll do a stream on pictures of the MIDI because I've got literally millions. So yeah. Anyway, the Great Gathering. Yeah, the Great Goodbye. They staggered them, and then only put them in the right order for the photo charter. So you had to pay the money to get them all lined up nicely, and I found that very upsetting because it was still cost enough to get in Cost enough? Did it cost money? I can't remember now. I didn't think it cost anything. I was aggrieved. So, yeah. This is Railfest. I can't remember if it was the first one or the second one, but I love the fact it was the Kirklees Light Railway's Hawk, which is a tiny 15-inch, well, it's quite a beefy 15-inch gauge railway, actually, loco. It's a chunky thing, and then Churro in the background. I did love seeing Churro run. I got a footplate rod on Churro as well, and it's just, that was an experience. Why did they stagger them like that? Board, so to make it more difficult to get a photo, because in order to get the photo of them all done nicely, you had to pay to do the photo charter. So that's the answer to that one. That was the goodbye. So the first photo of them was the gathering, and number 2 was the goodbye. So this is a photo from York doing an event. How many Lawrie Goes Loco do you have ready or nearly ready? I have like 20 shot, possibly more, and ready to go. About 2 that are almost done. So York does an event. It used to be every year, and then they started making it every other year, and then COVID happened, called York Illuminated, or Illuminating York. And it's a festival of lights, and they do lots of cool things of lighting the city and doing things. And for most of the years, they've lit up the NRM, so they get the students from the university to do different light shows and different lightings of the engines with this show called Locomotives in a Different Light. And I thought it was awesome. Oh yeah, and then I'm going to the Eurobus Expo in Birmingham. Oh, I've got an invite to do that as well. Hawk is one of the most powerful 15-inch locos in relative chapter. Yes, it's a beast of a little thing. Railfest, no. Railfest they did twice. It's only been 2 other things. Am I sad that Churro's not running anymore? Yes, I am, because I think it's lovely, and I would love to see it working again. But I do like it. I really do like it. Any photos of Spa Valley being cheeky SKP? No, because I was busy filming. I didn't get any pictures of it. Hi James, I'm pretty good, thanks. Steam in a Different Light. Yeah, Locos in a Different Light, I think is what they called it. But it was really cool. They did these really fun different bits of lighting, and the lights moved, and some of them really cool. They moved around like to give the impression it was moving. I was a huge fan of it. Walking around the NRM with all these different lights was just a wonderful experience. Yeah, I thought it was a very, very cool. I just really, really enjoyed it. Particularly like they set up like smoke generators and light generators, so you've got like lit smoke coming out of the chimney of the Q1, and smoke generator in Truro. I thought it was a really cool alternative and a bit different, and I thought that was good. Do you want to see the Duke Dog running? I like the Duke Dog. I didn't get to see it run, and when it was last rowing. I really regret not going to see it. So yeah, I don't know which day yet. I can't remember what I was planning to do it on. Again, this is the year they had the Great Gatherings. They had the A4s all lit up differently, and it looks a bit like a toy with them all. It was just impressive with the A4. To be fair, if you didn't do the Great Gathering, you missed out, because it was just the most amazing event, seeing 6 A4s together. This is the other ones, the other side of it. It was cool. It was really. I really enjoyed walking around them in the weird lights. The photos don't do them justice. Oh, there we go. Having 4 of them at least together, seeing the different front ends. It doesn't do them justice, seeing them together. So I think that brings us to the end of stuff at York that I chose for this little thing. So we'll move on to a couple of pictures from the moors. Pannier tank running through the North Yorkshire moors. Okay, it's very wrong, but if you close your eyes and you forget it's in the North Yorkshire moors, with the milk tanker behind it and the single coach, this is a Great Western branch line, 100%. There is nothing in that to tell you that it's not a Great Western branch line. You've squinted it, and to put it into black and white, that's absolutely it. Brilliant. That makes me very happy. Jordan Bell, I did this when I was at the college. Oh, did you? That was brilliant. Spent 3 days lighting them up. Jordan, mate, absolutely amazing job. It's one of my favourite events I've been to. I thought it was fantastic, so full kudos to you and the rest of your guys who did it. Absolutely, I thought it was a great event, and I don't know if it's happening anymore. It hasn't happened in recent years, and it saddens me greatly, but great work. Absolutely great work. I'm not sure if I'm doing it yet. I've got an invitation to do it. I'm thinking of doing it. I'm just not sure. You've missed the section on the Great Central. We've done the Great Central, and it's unfortunately you've missed it. It's just it's great, Panya. It looks lovely. And then this was it on the other charter they did. Just it looks great, doesn't it? On a small local set. Again, you can just believe it's on a back branch line towards the end of steam. It's perfect. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. The Great Gathering was super. It really was. Need to start cleaning the doctor. My personal favourite. Yep. Lawrie, the PT's got posted some different sheds. Well, yeah. People don't want tank engine to go because they want bigger. I like a tank engine. The Emma fell out with the organiser, son. Of course they did. What a shame. I again felt lovely being at the North Yorkshire Moors, sat ready to depart in the dark. I thought that was pretty special, to be honest. I really enjoyed that. Really, really did enjoy that. No, credit where credit's due. It was really cool. I miss it. Okay, 8:13. Photo included because it's 8:30 and I've driven it. I'd love to drive it like this on a proper little Great Western freight train. Maybe not with 3 brake vans, with almost as many brake vans as wagons, but you know, they had to have people on board. But I love 8:13. Sadly, out of traffic at the moment, it needs the wrist casting broke, didn't it? Do you have the photo we saw on TV? He says, thinking. Maybe. Tell you what, as a treat, we'll go on that last. Remind me, we'll find that photo in a minute because I'm sure I can find it. Anyway, 8:13 at Embury Wall. Love it very much. Like the engine, love the train, love the lighting. Good times. You can't really do this anymore because they've blocked off a lot of it. But I used to love being on shed during the gala at the Severn Valley. This photo, I looked at it, I think this was 2 in the morning. And it's perfect. I love being on shed. It's just got such an atmosphere. The Blue King. That's about the only time I saw the Blue King actually working. And every time I saw the Blue King, the light disappeared. So I didn't get a good picture of it in the sun. It looks very strange with its mainline fittings of the shortened chimney and the shortened safety valve bonnet. But I do love the livery. When they said they were going to bring it back in blue, I thought, what a horrendous colour, that's stupid. And then I saw it and was like, it's perfect. Absolutely magical. And then one of the best things is being at the Severn Valley for their autumn galas, because they run trains all the way through the night. So this is the freight at, like, I don't know, 10 o'clock, midnight, just sat waiting for some ridiculously late or early freight movement that they were doing. And it's so good being there and just seeing freight. Again, you feel like you're back in the day because there's a Great Western freight with a load of wagons about to disappear into the night. It's so good. I didn't see the Gathering Crew Works in 2005, but I did see Hamilton before it was streamlined. So about nights, but one of my experience was Cromwell at the TPO. Oh, yes. I think one of the best TPO runs I saw at GC was the M7 because it was caning. You heard it like 10 minutes before it. You heard it leaving Loughborough. I was like, I can hear it. Oh, it's going. Oh, that was great. I did enjoy that. So yeah, lovely. Overexposed, but I like the atmosphere of it. It was the first time I saw the T9 running. Really liked the T9. Lovely atmosphere on shed at the Severn Valley. About midnight, something like that. It's a little bit blurry because I was on the bridge and people keep walking across the bridge and it makes it vibrate. Yeah, it was. But it's brilliant, isn't it? I do like it. Also, how many engines do you want on shed? Do you want all of them? Okay, let's do that. This was before, because we've got the Prairie, that's the U that was visiting. Then the standard, that's always that Hall. Can't remember what that was. The T9, the other Panya. I can't remember what's running. I think is that the coal tank that was there. Or is that the gin? I can't remember what that was. I can't remember what was there that year. But a lot of stuff now lives over at Bewley, and they don't have the same like massive stuff at the top. Similar thing. T9 on shed. Accept the poor quality of the photo and just believe for a minute that you're on shed back in the end of steam, because that's what I believe when I look at this photo. I look at it and go, oh yeah, that's definitely back in the day. Makes me very happy. Oh, it was the 4F, wasn't it? Yeah, of course it was. Thank you very much. It's not a good photo, this one. It's not a good photo at all. But I love the fact that it's coming out of the mist. And it's just... And I know that the Raging Bull, that 1501, never really went out and did mixed goods trains, but it just looks like a little stereotypical tank engine. Apart from the fact it isn't a little stereo tank engine, it's a massive thing. On a little goods train. And Hampton Load is just such a beautiful little platform. It's gorgeous. It's Hampton Load, isn't it? Am I right? Is it Hampton Load? Am I right, or am I getting confused? It is getting late at night. I might have got very confused. Anyway. Again, stuff on shed. What on earth was that? That was the 9F. Ah, the 9F, the Prairie and the Mogul. Yeah. Just, again, you just can just about pretend it's back in the day. And I just, I could just spend all night just sat there watching the engines. I could just spend all night sat there watching the engines. Personal favourite there, having 1450, the little auto tank. What's that? Is that 926? Oh, it's the schools, isn't it? 926 schools, yeah. Is it Cheltenham? Am I right? Is it Cheltenham? Yeah. I just, oh, so good. Just beautiful. Again, locomotives on shed. It's just something special about it. Oh, and the Gronk, yeah, the Gronk porked in the corner as well. Oh, that's what I forgot about this one. I forgot the fact that the Y14 went. I'd absolutely forgotten that it made a trip out there. Would have, if you had asked me prior to this photo, has the Y14 ever gone to the Severn Valley? I'd have said no, but apparently it has, because that's the photo of it. Repton. Sorry, my bad. Yes, it's Repton, isn't it, with the American tender. I like Victoria Bridge. I like it when the weather's nice and you can get a reflection of it. Excuse me. Sorry, I need a drink for ages. I like the auto tank when it goes over it. Do I remember the H2 Atlantic? I don't really remember it because I've never seen it before, but I know of it. So a few minutes behind lifting it at 2 speed. Just want to say I love the line where that's put it in black and white. Yeah, exactly right. I didn't. That's how it works. Sorry, 925 is Cheltenham. Of course, it's my bad. You remember about Bluebell visiting? Funny enough, yes, Bluebell. I missed out on Spa. Oh, yeah, I forgot it went to Spa. I spent about a year at Spa, didn't it? Bluebell at Severn Valley was hilarious. I also really like this one of the auto tank just running through with a bloke waiting for the train like it's going the wrong way and he's missed it. Really enjoyed it. This was one of the weirdest trains, seeing Sir Hayden being dragged around by the Mogul. Made a really interesting goods train. You can also notice that there was enough light there to make the reflection of the tender, but not enough light for anything else. The biggest disappointment about this photo was the fact they promised it on a goods train, but it was just Sir Hayden on a flat wagon, and we kind of hoped they were going to put it in a good. In some years later, they did Douglas on, and it was in the middle of the train, and that looked a lot better rather than just having a standard wagon for Sir Hayden. But it was still something quite interesting to see it in the middle of the night. A very cool photo. That brings us to the end of the stuff I put aside for the Swannage Row. Wales. So, someone mentioned Snowdon. Have I been to Snowdon? Yes. This photo and the next photo came about through making a mistake. You see, we had gone to Wales for the bank holiday weekend and went, oh, Snowdon's meant to be running steam today, let's go to Snowdon. And the first time I'd gone to Snowdon, they had 3 steam out. And now they just have the 1 steam and the Snowdon Lily coach. And we got there, and it was a glorious day. Well, for Wales standards, as you can see, the sun was out, and we were like, oh, let's go up the mounting a little bit and get a picture. So we ran, because we were basically going to see it leave, see it leave as a curiosity rather than. So we ran up to here, which, as you can see from the ground over in this area, wasn't actually that high. and you can see Clamberis, yeah, it's Clamberis Lake in the background, and you can just make out over there part of the railway, with the locomotive on the Clamberis Lake Railway, just there. Fine. What do you do now? Do you go back down the line, or do you turn around and do you go a little bit further up the line? Because what we decided to do was, you know what, it's a really nice day. It's rare to get stupidly nice weather on the Snowdon Railway. Let's go up to Devil's Ridge. Devil's Ridge is just there. We did not take any of the stuff you're meant to. For instance, good shoes, like hiking shoes, we're in trainers, water, food, jacket. We just legged it because we wanted to get up there to see. Well worth it, because like getting to see the engine charging up here with everything in the light. Never done it again. I've been back to Snowdon several times. Never again have I seen it in the light. But this, this was something quite special, and to see it in the light, oh, well worth it. I mean, we got this, and then the adrenaline ran out. We're at the top being like, we're idiots. We have got nothing to drink. We're very thirsty. We're very tired. But absolutely, yeah, great. Yeah, oh, yeah. Most of the time you can't see anything, so to be able to get this was absolutely stunning, and see the steam engine working up. On the same trip, we went and saw Lynn, wherever it is, running on the Fezzer, and out of all the shots I got, this is my favourite because it just looks so wonderfully narrow gauge, wiggling its way through the embankment and the cutting at the same time. I just thought that was great. And I got this one published. It's another one of my published pictures of Edward Thomas on Talaclin on the same trip. We did a lot of railways on this trip. This was my first visit to Talaclin, and funny enough, it rained, and I got this really nice reflection of it sat in the tunnel, in the platform. So it was running round, and it's just a lovely mirror image. Again, it's one of those pictures. Like, oh yeah, that's really good. Yeah, which is basically all I put together in the Wales collection for this one, actually. So you know, guys, we're coming to the end of this, but you know, I can't remember why they ran a ballast train at the West Somerset, but I'm really glad they did, because it was a really interesting and different thing for them to work. And with the haze and everything around, it's just really good. Yeah, Lid does have a cut down cab. I really like this. I don't know why, I just really do. Love the engine, love the train, it was good. Unfortunately, it's smart on the lens there, which ruins the entire picture, but I can Photoshop that out later. I don't know how I did this picture to get... I've tried to do it again to get this headland, and I can't make it happen again, which is upsetting because I really like it, and the lighting was just... Okay, I think I photoshopped this, because looking at the grass here, I have way overcooked that, but never mind, we'll ignore that. Yeah, we'll ignore that actually happened. And they had the S160 there, which was notoriously unreliable, but they did for this gala run it on a army train. So we had jeeps and a gun, I think, and armoured vehicles, and it just looked good. It just looked really, really good. S160 on freight, on a war train, war engine, war train. Pretty good. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Pretty sure that was a gun. And the guys in uniform on there, and yeah, I approve. I thought that was a really cool thing to do, and I do absolutely love S160s. Absolutely adore them. I think I know lots of people don't like them, but I'm a big fan of the S160. So slightly blurry, but again, this is Blue Anchor, I think, or Dunster, possibly Dunster. Hampton Loader, Blue Anchor or Dunster. Dunster, I think. This is Dunster. Maybe, can't remember. I like it. I know lots of people don't like the super high intensity lights on the front of it, but as a crew member, do like being able to see what's in front of us, and I like the engine. Slightly blurry, I know, but I like the atmosphere, and this is a better photo. awaiting the off. Again, super high intensity light at the front, but we'll ignore that. The engine is actually sharp, shock horror lorry. You actually meant to do it right. And the driver stood still long enough to get this nice shot of him awaiting the train off. And you know what? It's Dunster, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. You know what? I love this photo. I know I don't say that much about many of my photos, but as atmosphere goes, the lights being soft focus, the busyness here of people blurring, getting on the train, the steady driver, pretty happy with that. I think that all came very nice. Can I look up the H2 Atlantic? I can talk about Beachy Head. It's got the border off a northeastern one. LNER one anyway. Anyway, like that photo. I really like 2800s and the 3800s as well. That's a 3800 because it's got a more enclosed cab. It's got a window. This was, I think, one of their Santa specials, and I think I was going home and just wanted to catch this one on the way up. Rods down, the light was lovely, cracking engine, happy days. I just like this. It just looks... But yeah, most of the time, if you give me the option, I like a locomotive in the livery it came out in, whether normally LNER livery, like a grouping livery, maybe pre-grouping liveries, some of them awesome. Great Western engines though, give me them in BR black. They wear black so well, just the brass just sets them off, and I love that. Very happy with that. I think this is the first year I went to West Somerset, my first trip, and it was the first year I had a DSLR and actually started taking pictures. And so it's not a particularly good picture, but I like it just because it represents a lot to me on my background and my kind of progress with taking pictures, and I love the guy hanging out the side of it. And yeah, it just... I don't know, it's not a good photo by any means, but it's an important photo for me, and I really, really do like it. This is Didmore again on its, because Didmore went to a lot of places one year, they took it everywhere. Coming away from Blue Anchor towards Dunster, and I think I've done that one right. That's about all to say on that. I just think that one's a good picture. It's a lovely engine, the light's nice, it looks right on the freight. Yeah, that's cracking, that is. And again, very little, I mean, you can see some of the modern buildings in the background there, but if we crop it in and just do that, you just go, yep, it's back in the day. Nothing there to tell you it's not back in the day. That's brilliant. I saw the Mogul in rod livery. I thought that was quite good. Is it Foxcoat? It's not Tidmore. Oh, my bad. Anyway, it's it again on this. Trundling around on that, like in BR Black. 7F before it left. It's now at Mid-Hants. Again, just a nice, at the end of the day, bit of the light on the side of it. I just really like it. It just... S&T. Stand for visiting. I can't remember why. Don't know why I like it. I'm stood on the crossing, on the stile for the crossing, and it just looks like it's an express. It just absolutely... It's Foxcoat, yeah. Yes, it's Foxcoat, isn't it? Why were all the Atlantic scrapped? Well, for the same reason most things were scrapped. They were old, people didn't want them. It just wasn't lucky enough to get into preservation. They were scrapped before Barry. Like, realistically, like, people go, oh, why were steam engines scrapped? Because they're awful. They're a lot of work. It needs obscene amount of maintenance just to keep them working. They need a major rebuild every 10 years. And you need 2 members of crew. And they're horrendously inefficient. And the fact that you need to get there on a big engine, let's say 6 hours before you want to take it out to make sure it's got a fire in it. So that's the basic reason why steam engines are, because they're just... does it cost a lot to own a loco? Yes. If you want a steam one, even more. Yeah, they're just... Okay, anyway, that's got through most of it, so we're going to move on to Poland and finish off this stream, because we've been going forever. And I appreciate that a lot of you have been here for a while and would probably like to go to bed or give up and do something else with your life. So I appreciate that all you guys have Poland. So a lot of you have commented about the Kreislock in our latest video and the fact that what a shame it's been there. Poland has a lot of Kreislocks. These are still owned by PKP. This is Polish State Railway, and that's just there. It's not preserved. It's not being used. It's not in a museum. It's just dumped. This was the cement works, and they just dumped this and the TKH over there, which they bent trying to pick it up with a crane for a demonstration, and they've just left there. Steam engine awful. Oh, don't get me wrong, Charles. I love steam engines. They're wonderful and a wonderful piece of art, and I love crewing them. But being strictly, there is a reason that we don't have steam engines running every day anymore. Is because they're just too much hard work. So yes. Oh, like 100%. I can see why I got rid of steam engines. I think if I'd been an engine, as much as I love steam, actually I'll tell you, but I would work on steam every day because I love it. But I can understand why most people didn't want to have it every day. Yeah, it's a TKH's notes. TKT. This TKH is a small tank engine. That's a TKT. Have you been on the Polish tank at the knee? Not since it came back from overhaul. I did a load of work on overhauling it. I did a lot of stripping it down. The Polish Thomas. There is one at Jarzina which is painted blue with a face on it and number 1 for it. It's not Romania. It's Bosnia. Shuttleworth. Oh, James, did you see the picture with you in it? Because I had a picture with you in it. Hold on. Gonna abandon this now. James, have you been here all the time, or have you only just joined us? Because if you've been here all the time, let me know. If you haven't been here all the time, we're going to do a slight diversion back to what we were. James. Oh, I forgot there's like 40-second delay. Talk amongst yourselves. Right. Great slideshow, Lawrie. Thanks for the stories behind them. You're welcome. Change back. Him. You're my mate. There we go. Good day that was. Good day that was. Anyway, back to Poland. Go back. There you go. You've been called out as a friend of mine on the internet. How do you feel about that? Polish 060 tank versus USA. The USA ones are theoretically more powerful. They're bigger engines. The TKOs. This is. Oh, in fact, there is one. This is one night at the parade. A lot of the pictures here are of the parade in Poland, where up to recent years they would have all the engines that were available at Wolstein, engines visiting from the Czech Republic, from elsewhere in Poland, and sometimes Germany and further astute. So for this year, PM362, that's Pinek Helena, the only specifying what it is, the TKT from Jarzina, 69. Oh, 69. The TKT from Habufka, that was from not the Czech Republic, that was from Hungary or somewhere. That had come from a long way. The TY2, and that was the TKH from, I think, from the Warsaw Wrocław group, I think. Thanks for showing me again. That's all right, buddy. I was saying that it was a good day and that we were like the youngest crew at the Midi at the time. This is also at the cement works. So again, going back to the fact that lots of crease locks are there. These engines are just stored. Still owned by PKP. Possibly that's the TKH that they picked up and bent. That's a PT. They're just here. This is not railway preservation. These aren't engines that are in a imminent threat of scrapping, but they're just surplus to requirement stock that's stored at the end of a siding. This is how it is. I have done the roundhouse at Berlin. Yes, it was great, and they had some Polish engines there as well, which I found funny. These engines are just, we don't know what's going to happen with them. They're just there. This is Jarzina, because this one is missing its front axle. In fact, was that one Jarzina? That is Jarzina. I take it back. This isn't. This is Jarzina. This is a museum. I take it back. This is Jarzina. This is a museum. This is the museum where the TY2 that became the statue came from. In fact, it could well be this one. Who knows? Mostly because it hasn't got any motion on it, and they might have used this one. I don't know which one they used, but it might well have been this one. So this is a museum. These ones are actually safe. This TKT, sorry, has missed its front axle, so it was a 282, it's now a 082. This is back at Vostin. This is engines having work done to them when they were in service overnight. I love being at the shed in the dark. I think it's pretty good. It's Jude from East Lancs. Oh, hi Jude, how you doing? It was a good day, wasn't it, at East Lancs? It's not so, it's no. Sad sight. Can you imagine a cruise lock on British Heritage Railways? There used to be one at the Nene Valley. This is the TI2 that recently was in service. Now its ticket has expired, but I fired this. It's the hardest thing I've ever fired. Horrendously overexposed. Let's try that one where it's better exposed. There we go. That was the operational fleet at the time, I think. Or I don't... the PM might have been working. But it was the PT... 59 and Pinnacle Helena, so this is years ago, before the PT went out of service. I did enjoy it. So that was the fleet at the time. At time of writing now, that's out of ticket, that's out of ticket, and that's out of ticket as well. They're all out of ticket. They do this really cool light show. This is one of them, of it coming out to a lovely video somewhere of the OL coming out of the shed to the Emperor's March, and it was great. And things like this are just super. That's the OL12. It was the oldest working engine in Poland. Very cool looking thing. They did this whole performance with each engine coming out in history. OL4959. I like this engine. I've done a lot of mileage behind it. They're cracking. They're so utilitarian. People say, "Oh, they're ugly things." I know they're so utilitarian. They're just wonderful designed and looking engines, and the fact that they're still working today and running passenger services is incredible. Absolutely magnificent. That's 69 and the PT47. Again, for the light show with different lights behind them. The morning after. OL497, that's long gone out of service. I only got behind that once. I forgot 59 had green cylinders once. Oh, God, the blast in the past. And the PT. There's a lot of pictures around the shed because the shed's amazing. So this is during the parade. This is the Czech locomotive. The OL there and the small OL. I think. Honestly, can't remember. I think. Hello, Captain Beer. Bieber? Anyway, yeah, and that's the TY2 going the other way. It was a cracking event of so many things going on, big engines. That's a rail tour that me and James went on, and the whole trip was like 24 hours, and we were up for 24 hours. This was waiting for the fire brigade to fill up the tender of the locomotive at like midnight or something. There's only one OL. It's 69. It's in traffic. 59's away for overhaul at the moment. Yeah, there's only 2 working mainline engines in Poland. This is the Parade. That's the Czech engine. Number 7. It's a great roundhouse. It's a lovely atmosphere. That's blurry. Interesting. So this one, this was my first parade we went out to, and we had a TY2 on double-decker coaches, because they have double-decker coaches out there, and we went on a rail tour and ended up going into old Germany. So we're on an ex-German locomotive that was given back to Poland as war repatriations, travelling around what was Germany, and we were on this tour. There were 2 Americans, 2 Germans, and 2 Brits and 2 Poles. We were just sat there going, 50 years ago, it's about 2010, 2011, 50 odd years ago, this wouldn't have happened. The whole where we are now was a different country. We'll get onto this story in a minute. We were in a different country. We were doing, and us of different nationalities would not be sat here appreciating a German war locomotive. It was just yeah, it was just special, that. Or maybe this was the second trip. That might be a second one, actually, because I think the year we did that one will come up in a minute, and I don't think we had the double-deckers. This is a very typical Polish train, regardless. This is kind of what was running at the kind of when the curtain came down. This was kind of thing that was still running services around Poland. The blue Czech loco is the front is nicknamed the Parrot. Ah, it's a cracking thing. Did you see the OL? It used to be at Maldegem. Yes, it's gone now. I can't remember where it's gone. Back to Poland? Yeah, it's gone back to Poland. Hello, James. So, yeah. Lovely. Right, this is a PX railway running at Gniezno. And when you go and hire the railway for a special train, you take the carriage and go for a trip up and down. You stop at the bar. You have a drink on the way home. And obviously the crew don't join you at all, obviously. But I just love the fact that we stop the train in the railway on the section, and they go to the bar, and we have to go and we have something to eat, and that amused me very much. This is again the same rail tour as before with the Kreislock and those coaches, and it just shows there's so much abandoned railway over there, so much. Just it's not lifted, it's just we don't use it anymore. It's amazing. Oh, sorry, Goof Waffle, enjoyed it. This is the first parade, 2002, 12:30. I can't remember which this one is. That was the first parade with the thing, yeah. That's 59, charging up the bank out of Volstin, just looking every inch a proper working engine. Cracking, absolutely cracking. And I love the glint there on the rails of the headlights. That was a long walk. Well worth it for the shot, but it was a long walk. I think that's my last day on that trip before I was going home. As the Kreislock out again, catching some lovely evening light. Oh no, it was the first trip. Tell you what, it must have been the first trip because we did the fields of this. But yeah, I love that with the going past on the evening, past all the yellow stuff. Absolutely marvellous. Another trip out on the PX. The tractor wasn't meant to be there. That he just happened to be there and stopped for us to go past for the photo. And just some of it, this little engine working through a field in the middle of nowhere. So this is Yarazina, and we went out to see the TKT working up and down the snow. And this was May. This isn't the winter. This is May, and Snowdon had a freak snowstorm in May. Yes, May in summer, and only 2 left, and the rest have been scrapped. No way! I didn't realise they'd all been scrapped. The loading gauge blows off. Yeah, no, it's amazing, isn't it? The scale of it. And yeah, May, snow coming down in May. This was me and James again. Lovely trip that. This was beautiful Helena, the PM on one of its trains. The last time I saw it, heading out under the mainline cables, going towards Swannage, and that's it on shed. I think it's a cracking locomotive. I love the PM a lot. Absolutely, it's a really striking thing. And this is seen, those diesels are being phased out or have been phased out. So this is a total scene that won't be repeated now. This is coming up from Lawrie. This station's on a hill. Notice the platforms are very low. Yeah, that's absolutely superb actually. And it's just wonderful. This was at Lawrie Depot when we were going to turn the loco. And so it had come in to be turned to take the train back, because they used to turn it each way. I don't do that anymore, sadly. That's on the train at Lawrie. Again, I love how overgrown everything is. I was there recently, and it's not as overgrown anymore. I love this. Under the wires. This is Poznan station from the end, watching it approach. It doesn't look heritage. It looks like back in the day, because electrification happened quite a lot in Poland, but it was the railways they didn't electrify where steam kept running. I think this is 5 in the morning in Volstin, and I went to see in the snow, in the cold, and I wanted to see this departure, and I wanted to see it in the morning, and it was worth it. It was worth it to see it. And then we went and chased it. So this is it charging along in the snow, and I have this picture framed as well of it just charging along, looking again back in the day. You can't see the train. It's just brilliant. I think they can do 50 or 60 on the main line out there. I think that's it depends what part of the railway they're on. This is another Pranad. So I think that's Jalazina's TKT. That's the Warsaw Group's TKH. Must be Hobówka's TKT and TKH, I think. But it was a great lineup of little tank engines in Poland. being completely phased out of the ecosystem. Yeah, that's right. 2 survive in preservation, the rest are in storage, private ownership. There's a lot in storage I've seen recently. Again, another trade. Again, just the blue light is so weird having stylized locomotives like this. Very cool. And again, that one a bit overexposed, but we'll live with it. Just again, it was such a spectacle to watch, and they have this big sound stage and music. It was a hell of an experience. This is Yarazina again. Again, this is a museum, so this is stuff that is safe. But again, it gives you an idea of preservation over there. That this is the museum quality. They've stuff they can just keep safe. That's the TY42, so a post-war Polish-built cruise lock, trundling past one of the diesely things over there. I just thought it was a great combination of modernish freight versus old freight. This was the first year, so this was the one I was talking about, because I'm sure the first year we didn't have the double deckers. So I went out for this special, and this was travelling around. This was the train we ended up going into what used to be Germany but is now Poland after the war, with the ex-German locomotive, with the English, the Americans, the Polish and the Germans. Just such a magical experience of realising how the world had mended itself in 50 years and people could come together from all these different regions and countries who at once were deadly enemies and are now all happy, and an engine that had been built for the purpose of war was now giving people joy. And I thought, in the terms of significance of how the world's moved, and I just thought that was a beautiful moment, that how in one person's lifetime, in an average person's lifetime, the world had changed entirely on its head. And we'd gone from this locomotive being in service and working to being a heritage item. I just thought it was beautiful. I just thought it was really, really, really beautiful. And to be there and to sample it. And it was really hot, so we then sat with all the doors open on the train, sat in the doorways travelling home, which was against all the rules, but it was delightful. And just a really I've had lots of experiences on the railways and things, but I think that one particularly helped show me and helped teach me just how important things of heritage are and how it can really bring people together, especially with the language barrier between Polish, German and English. I mean, of course, the German and the Polish spoke English, because most continental places seem to speak English these days. But it was just this really, really beautiful experience of across things. Back to the shed in Volston for another lot. Again, they did the cool things with the lights behind the shed and all that gubbins. I think it's the same. I don't know which year this is. There's lots of engines. 7's in the lineup, so a long time ago, because 7 went. Anyway, that's it. I think we're probably going to call that to an end. So the Volston's well worth a visit. I mean, you won't probably see a site like this for many years, because as mentioned, there is only 2 working standard gauge locomotives in Poland at the moment. So sites like this are very much something in the past. And seeing the roundhouse full of steam was something absolutely incredible, and something we won't see again. So yeah, that is basically it. Oh, look, it works now. I can get the end. Why did the starting soon thing not work then? I don't know. Well, anyway, we put that up. That's the ending soon thing for the end of the show. So I hope you've enjoyed this. We're going to wrap up in about 2 minutes to have a nice 3-hour long ramble of photos. When listening to the background for its next ending soon, I shall track what they are the pictures. I really enjoyed this, guys. If you haven't enjoyed it, do it again in the future, because trust me, there's something like 50,000 photos of railways in the backlog and stuff that I can share with stories. No, it's not the same thing as the Nene Valley. That's a slash. It never got a Polish. No, it's TKP. There's only 1 or 2 inns in Poland, and amazing we've got it back over here. Oh, I see. It only does it once. Oh, I see. Let's go to properties and change that so it just repeats. Loop. There we go. Fixed it. That's what happened with the starting soon one. With the starting soon, I didn't loop it. That's what happened. Loop. There we go. Fix that. No problem. It loops now. Anyway, ending soon. Back to where we were. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Credits. Fixed it. Forgot about that. There we go. We've dropped the ending thing of it right off. So, yes. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. Thanks for supporting us on the channel. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Force your friends and family to like and subscribe. If you haven't already, fancy joining the Patreon and helping us out. It makes a massive difference to us. Currently, it's only £1 a month to join, although we are going to be doing a big restructuring of the Patreon and making it a bit better for you guys, because I know I've dropped the ball on that. If you want to help us out, that'd be lovely. So, yeah, thanks for watching. For the photos, that's the TKH, the Avon Valley silhouetted there. I think that's Igu or possibly Limpopo at Bredgar. That's Teddy on its final trip before its ticket expired at Chasewater. That's an SY in China. That's an S160 at the Nene Valley. That's a Terrier at Keza. That's one of the schools class at Midhants. That's probably Cheltenham. That's FD&E number 3 at Midi. That's the Raging Bull at the North Norfolk. North Norfolk is cracking. You get some lovely sunsets. That's Moorshire at North Norfolk. That picture got picked up and published as well. And that's the 9F at Great Central. There we go. So that's it. Any other questions, guys, before we finish? And I will do my best to answer them. If not, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for joining and thanks for being part of it. And so yeah, I'll just wait the 40-second delay for you to catch up and we'll wrap this one up. So yeah, good night. Oh, that was the thing people wanted, wasn't it? Give me a second and I will find the picture of the North York Moors and see if I can find that quickly for you guys. I don't know if I will, but we shall have a look for it because people did ask that. North York's Moors Gala 18. Dunk. There we go. As we call it, that was the photo I was going for in the north. Oh, thank you very much, Flying with Chairman. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's the picture that I wanted at the North Yorkshire Moors, and that's the one that I climbed up the side for to get the picture of. It was that one, and yeah, that was the cracking picture, and I was very happy to get that. And that was, yeah, that's what we went for. I think that was the other version of it. But yeah, that's what we did. But we'll cover other pictures in another stream in the future. But there we go. That was that picture for the people who wanted to see that. Anyway, back to the ending soon. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of it. Biggest loco I have fired or driven in this country. It probably actually in this country it's 78018. So yes, that's it. I think that's basically that will be us done. Wrap it up. Is that the same time you're on TV and fell over? Yeah, it was going over to do that photo. That was that shot. It was yeah, that was a good day. Good day. Although yeah, my mate, it was James who fell, I think. I fell, went face first down in the mud, but the camera wasn't rolling for that, so you know, I got away with that one. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I hope you have enjoyed that. What's your favourite steam train? Favourite steam train. Actually, its favourite class would be a Barclay. I really like Barclays, and my favourite large locomotive is, in this country, the V2, and abroad it's probably the PT. I have a very big soft spot for the PT. So yeah, that's where it is. Cheers, guys. I can't even remember what the music is on the ending, to be honest. I haven't listened to it in ages. So I'm going to wrap it up now, because we've gone 4 minutes over when I was saying I'm going to end it up. So unless there's any immediate questions or any comments, thanks very much for watching, guys. And as ever, how many of you wonderful people were actually here at the start and watched it the whole way through? How close to sorting the wheels on the Ruston are you? Particularly, there will be a big update, hopefully, in the not too distant future. Hopefully, he says optimistically. I'm waiting for one thing to fall into place, and if that one thing falls into place, there will be a big update and a big please help me make this happen, because I will not be able to afford to make it happen. But hopefully it will work. Made it all the way through. Good work, Seeking. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Been here all year. Thanks, Ben. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Dave, good work. At least 3 people. Thanks, Charles. Nice work, and one and all. Are you becoming a volunteer at the East Lancs? No, it is a bit of a trek for me to get up to East Lancs. So I was on the regular live stream. Donegal Dad. On the regular live stream. Yeah. On a regular stream. Well, I do apologise for that. But yeah, if you go back, skip through the photos, there's quite a few of them, that kind of stuff. And with that, I'm going to go and press the goodbye button. Least favourite steam train. Don't think I've got a least favourite. There's a list of engines which I think are particularly bad examples of what they are, but I don't think there's anything I've ever got on that I'm like, I don't like this by design. I've been on lots of things I'm like, this is very poorly looked after, but yeah. So yeah, that will bring us to the end. Let us know, guys, again, in the comments, leave some comments, let us know if you want a calendar, if that's something you want, and what do you want? Do you want 2 options? Do you want a calendar of railway pictures and a calendar of LMM, or do you just want a railway calendar, or do you want LMM one? Let us know if any of the particular prints you'd like to see up on the website, and let us know if you'd like to see this again. If you have, with which I will leave it and see you later. So, not a bad evening for you, Flying my chain run. Thomas, if you look back through the stream when it's finished, you'll see that I have been to the Swannage Railway, and some of the photos picked up in this one. Possibly that a Patreon exclusive, Seeking. Patreon exclusive. And with that, I'm going to... Oh, where's the end stream button? To be fair, I don't think I've entered a stream on things. Oh, well, yeah, give me some praise. It's the first time I've actually managed to successfully use the stream desktop thing into YouTube, so, you know, I'm pretty good with it. So, good night, one and all. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for joining us, and we shall go for a good night. Thanks for watching.